Hello, folks. Welcome to Spanish Sports 17. This is Game 2 and the last game that we are doing here in St. George, Utah at the Dixie Sunshine Classic. And we are right now literally underway. Their first pitch is ball one to A.J. Thomas, designated hitter in today's game for the Maple Mountain Golden Eagles. It is the Golden Eagles up against the Bear River Grizzlies here in, again, this kind of early evening matchup here at the Dixie Sunshine Classic. Second pitch to Thomas is in there for a strike. It will be A.J. Thomas, Chase Johnston, and Cy Chrisman. 1, 2, 3 in the order here for Maple Mountain in inning number 1. Thomas will check his swing, and it will go into the dirt, so the count will be 2 balls and 1 strike. Andrew LaRose on the call with Coach T. Same crew as earlier today, so an exciting time, exciting venue here at Flyer Field, as that one is also low for a ball, so the count now 3 balls and 1 strike. Starting to get a little bit, it's actually going to be, I was a little bit behind. And A.J. Thomas will take first base.
It's been a really nice day so far.
It has.
All that happened in the last, 2.5 hours is Maple Mountain switched dugouts, and other than that, the temperatures stayed just about exactly the same. Sun's not baking quite like it was, and wind has picked up a tiny bit, but for the most part, it should be a fair weather evening of baseball here.
That's been pretty nice so far. The count is 0-1 on... Now 1-1 on Chase Johnston, the starting pitcher from last game. Turned in an excellent effort against the Flyers in the earlier game today. Now out in right field in this one against the Grizzlies. And we'll throw over there to keep Thomas close to first. And the on-deck circle is Cy Chrisman, who had a big game against the Flyers, was 3 for 4. Johnston sends this one high into the sky on a chop, and ends up being an infield single just because it just was so high up in the air that eventually, by the time the second baseman even got to it, there just was no play to be made.
Yeah, just an unfortunate bounce, and if there's anybody who's going to drive these two kids home based on our experience from last game, that's going to be Cy Chrisman right there. He's probably a 6'2", 6'3" senior, plays first baseman, and really had just a great showing today. And something we mentioned earlier is he's kind of like the oak of this team. He's the one who keeps them from blowing in the wind. A great presence in the dugout, according to coach over there. That's Coach Jeremy Thomas with Maple Mountain. He's been there 3 years, and most of his staff has been with him that entire time. They did pick up 1 or 2 new players, but for the most part, they've all been there for all 3 years.
Yeah, solid coaching staff for the Golden Eagles, and really he's brought some nice things in his tenure so far at Maple Mountain. Really, the big thing for him has been improved starting pitching, which they've definitely seen. And Chase Johnston, a perfect example of that. The lefty junior had just an absolutely sensational sophomore season, and again went toe-to-toe with a really great pitcher earlier today against the Flyers.
Yeah, absolutely. And last game, Johnston was our MVP, sports MVP of the game, but the guy you see right up there to bat was one of the runner-ups. That's Chrism, as well as the midfielder, Bennett Averitt. And he actually came in later in the game as a pitcher, so he's kind of a utility guy. And they kind of rotated the right fielder, midfielder, and or the center fielder and the pitcher all out with each other.
And it was kind of funny because I was on third base, shortstop, and pitcher for Dixie late in that game. The 1-2 to Chrisman will be inside. It'll even up the count here at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Runners on first and second early here in this game. Again, we are in the top of the first of this one. No outs. So Maple Mountain in great position here to strike first in this early evening matchup with the Grizzlies. This is the last game of the Dixie Sunshine Classic for the Golden Eagles. They are sitting at 1-2 so far. Big win against Payson, a loss to Box Elder, and then a tough loss as well earlier. If you were here for that 11-inning marathon against the Flyers, a little lazy throw towards second base, nothing doing.
I don't know if you folks can hear at home, but it's about that time of the day. The lights are starting to power up, so there's a pretty loud humming filling up the field here. But that's part of the sport.
Super fun buzz. Not a bunch of cicadas, but that is in fact, yes, the hum of electricity. Oh, and that thing is absolutely destroyed out to center field, and ranging over, trying to make the play is the center fielder, but they are gonna hold up. Oh, the ball gets away from the third baseman, so easy advance there for both, as Crispin also finds his way over to third base as well. So it'll go down as an RBI double for Crispin. Thomas scoring on it, and then on the error there, Johnston able to advance from third to home, and Crispin over to third on the throwing error. So an early 2-0 lead here for Maple Mountain, and man, that was an absolutely thunderous hit out to center field by Crispin.
It was. This field's a little bit bigger than where we were at last night over up the canyon at Snow Canyon, and then as well there was the wind element up there that helped float a lot of those balls that had air under them over the back fence. But we haven't seen any home runs in this park this go around. We've seen them in the past, but nothing so far this year, so it'll be interesting to see what we get here this game. I'm hoping. Yeah, I mean, it looks pretty good so far with that hit right there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Crispin has looked just, yeah, he's been on point all day today, and, man, he was dang close to getting that one out. Granted, he also hit to the deepest part of the ballpark, and also at the area where Dixie's got an extra set of fencing out there in the center field. So it takes a Herculean effort to hit it out at center field here, and he was pretty stinking close. Johnston will take that one high, and it'll move the count to not Johnston, but Bringhurst will take one high. So the count is 1-2 strikes on the cleanup hitter for Maple Mountain. 2-0 ball game here early. Love to see that for the Golden Eagles. Bringhurst slashes one, but nice play. Nice little stab dive there by Gehrig Marble to make the play, and it'll be the first out of the inning here in the top of the first.
And Bringhurst, we saw him at third base this previous game. We're going to see him there again this game. There wasn't really, his name didn't come off a lot, that can be a good thing and a bad thing. I mean, he didn't really stand out in any particular way, but at the same time, he also, you know, if you don't see anybody blunder or err over at third base, then that's always a good thing. There was one time we mentioned him as he made a great throw to almost tag the out, sliding into first base all the way across the diamond, a very difficult throw. So other than that, though, he's been pretty quiet.
Yeah, solid effort in the last game from Bringhurst. That'll be a ball just a bit inside. I'll leave it up the count at 1-1 on Nash Ferguson. Ferguson out in left field in this game for Maple Mountain. It'll be from what I know of, his first start. Ferguson did come in the game earlier today. That was a sub, as that one gets pumped in there for strike two. Now Crispin at third base, hoping to be the third run of the game for the Golden Eagles. This one's going to be popped up opportunity here for the catcher, and the play is made. It's Thomas Summers securing the out there for out number 2. It will bring up number 6 hitter Cole Erickson for Maple Mountain. Erickson at second base. And he will watch a first pitch strike.
Now they moved the bus that was over the left field back wall, and they've replaced it with a bus a little bit harder to hit that's over left center. So we'll see if anybody pumps one out there. That'd be fun.
Yeah, they've upped up the difficulty a little bit, but if Crispin were able to get a hold of one and get it out towards left center, I think he'd have a chance. As this thing is sent high in the sky, that's going to be an opportunity there for the second baseman, and he will snag that for out number 3. 2 runs coming across in the top half of the first inning. An RBI double for Cy Crispin, and then an extra run scoring on an error. So 2-0 in favor of the Golden Eagles over the Grizzlies. As we move on over to the bottom half of the first inning, gives us an opportunity to thank our sponsors here at Spanish Fork 17. That's Lance Wilson State Farm, 2 Jacks Pizza, MVP Sports, and Triple T Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
I don't want to tease you guys too much, but we might talk about a little bit later on. There may be a new sponsor that's heading our way with Spanish Fork 17, something that we're trying to kind of work out right now, but we will need the support of the community in that endeavor. So just hang around and we'll chat a little bit about that later on.
We are super excited about that opportunity. We'll talk a little bit more about it probably a few times throughout the game, but we'll hit you up with some of those specifics coming up in the next commercial, not next commercial break, but next sponsor break. We'll talk a little bit more about that as we get to see Maple Mountain getting all warmed up here. That's Max Walker on the mound for the Golden Eagles, getting the start here in this finale game of the Dixie Sunshine Classic.
So when I talked to Bear River's coach, Donald Haas.
What a name.
Yeah, isn't it great? That's a real American name right there.
It is.
Yeah, Coach Haas, he's been with the school for a little while, and we've seen another coach that's been with the school as Snow Canyon last night, who'd been with the school 20 years. So I'm going to say a number, and you guess over or under on whether Coach Haas has been with the school longer or shorter than that. I'm going to go ahead and say 15 years.
15 years. I'm going to say over.
I'm just barely going to get you on the under. He was there 14 years as the head coach.
I knew he'd been there for a good while. That one is laced right down the third baseline. That's a nice way to start things off here for the Grizzlies. That's going to rattle in the corner there. Nice job to get that ball in, but that is a nice leadoff double for Holden Potter. So Potter gets things rolling here for the Grizzlies with a leadoff double. It will be Talon Marble followed up by Gehrig Marble. Numbers 2 and 3 hitters in the lineup for Bear River. Gets a little piece of that one and fouls it away. Maple Mountain had to use 3 pitchers in their last game. Chase Johnston, Bennett Averett, and Caden Giles all making an appearance in their earlier game, and so most likely won't see those guys. So they're hoping to get a nice healthy dose of Max Walker and hoping that he can get pretty deep into this one to preserve those arms. But foul ball there by Talon Marble will move the count now to 0-2.
That was a very, very close to being an in-play ball as well. I mean, they're just playing those lines really tight.
And it's hard as a righty to kind of, place that ball nicely right along that first baseline just because you're going opposite field.
Some people, that's how they got on base. That was just their thing. Some bunters especially find a way to just, it's a little different when you're bunting, not swinging full force into it, but just play that line perfectly. Either the, if you're right-handed or left-handed, either first base line or third base line.
Yeah, a perfectly executed bunt is one of the most beautiful things in baseball. And I'm a big home run guy personally, but man, a well-executed bunt is something special. So that's going to be a cue shot that'll float into the glove of Colby Warren for out number 1.
Well, the Bears have looked good so far. I talked to Coach Haas, like I said, and he said they've had a lot of ups and downs throughout this tournament, and they're really just hoping for a good send-off here at the end of things at this specific tournament before they head up to freezing cold northern Utah.
Marble will ground out to first base, and that will be out number 2.
Good catch there by Chrisman. Why do I keep saying Chisholm?
Yeah, Chisholm.
That's stuck
the
in my
Chisholm
head.
Trail, you know. It's just got cattle on the mind, I guess, you know. Potter gets his way over to third base, 90 feet away. And now the cleanup hitter and pitcher for Bear River, Easton Goodliff. While digging into some research and things with stats and stuff, did see that Garrick Marble did hit a home run down here in this tournament. That's going to be a nice RBI single for Goodliff. That's going to be now 2-1 after the nice RBI single.
Well, they struggled a little bit in the first inning on defense, but this team sure knows how to hit the ball. You know, sometimes that's it. If you can generate enough offense, then maybe you let a few things go on defense, but just blast your way through whatever happens.
You know, sometimes the best defense is a good offense.
Sometimes the best offense is a good defense.
Yeah, so it just depends on
but
what your strength is, and then hopefully you can augment it enough to kind of mask the weakness a little bit, and it works out.
Last game we covered for Maple Mountain, it felt like the best defense was a good defense, and defense, and defense, and defense.
It sure was. Pitching and more pitching, yes. That was going to just barely miss. That'll be ball 1 to Deegan Rigby.
Well, I'll tell you, there's a bunch of people here that are about to be real cold real quick. As soon as that sun, and about another 45 minutes when it gets below the horizon line, I mean, there's a lot of people who are kind of probably unprepared for how quickly the temperature drops out here in the desert without anything to really keep the atmosphere in.
Yeah, if they weren't here yesterday and experienced an evening game, yes, it'll be a cruel awakening to the fact that, the desert is hot, but also the desert is cold once there is no sun out. Thomas throws it on to second base. It is, so close to being in time. That was a nice little skip and a well-placed tag by Colby Warren, but a nice job there by Goodliff to beat the throw.
That really might just be a tie goes to the runner situation. It was really that close.
Yeah, it was very bang. But gets the stolen base, gets himself into scoring position with 2 outs. The 2-1 is fouled away by Colton Summers. It'll even up the count here now at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Not Summers, my apologies. That is. Oh no, it is. It is Colton Summers. Am I getting ahead of things? Let me see.
6.
Number
6.
Number 6. Yes. Oh, I am correct. Okay. Oof. Breathe in, breathe out. All right, 2 balls and 2 strikes to Colton Summers.
Trust your first instinct, right?
Trust the process, you know. I mean, yeah.
Well, Maple Mountain did get a new logo, didn't they? Didn't they? With a maple leaf?
Yeah.
I don't think that's always been around.
It's been fairly recent that they've had the maple leaf.
Yeah, they just used to use like the Skyhawks eagle, you know, the very generic, like the inverted Skyhawks eagle that every single high school that has any sort of bird seems to use in their logo.
Kind of has that, yes. So they added the leaf about 1.5 years ago, according to our producer Pete, and that tracks with what I am remembering as well. And again, I like the clean look of these particular jerseys as well. Just the kind of the straight maroon with the nice lettering is a nice look.
Really nice. We should probably listen to Pete, not just because he's our boss, but
because he knows things.
He's been right so far.
He has.
And that's Pete running the scoreboard, by the way. So if there's any errors there, then let us know on the YouTube page, and then
that's right.
Let us know. It'll eventually come around, but for the most part, actually for everything, he's been really on the ball.
The 2-2 is fouled away once again by Summers, so he will dig back in and keep on battling here with 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Every time a ball is fouled back there, everyone looks back and just says, "Oh, I hope it's
please
not my car."
Yes, I've already had that little bit of experience a few times already.
This might be the one game where you hope you drive your, Camaro with the roof off, right?
Yes.
Just go back and collect
the big
balls
reason
off your
for
leather seats.
Yes, big reason for the convertible. Yes,
It's made for baseball.
Just made for life in general.
Except for if you live here
Except
in
for in the
Utah,
winter.
where it snows and rains. And
the 2-2 is sent down into center field. It will drop into shallow center for a base hit. Averett with a beautiful throw home, and he is gunned out. Bennett Averett with a beautiful throw from center field to end this inning. He guns down Goodliff, and that is going to end the inning here, 2-1. What a throw by Bennett Averett. We'll get you inning number 2 when we come back on Spanish Fork 17.
If you're looking for a workout, you know MVP Sports is the place to start, and that includes pickleball. MVP Sports has all you need to get active in this growing sport. Paddles, shoes, clothing, and the pickleballs. MVP Sports in Spanish Fork.
The best time to check your furnace is before it fails, and you can rely on Triple T to do the job right. Our technicians are trained every year so you can sleep better at night, knowing your furnace is safe to operate. Call Triple T at 798-7711 to schedule your tune-up today.
Welcome back to Spanish Fork 17. It's inning number 2 of this one between the Maple Mountain Golden Eagles and the Bear River Grizzlies. Again, this is the last game for the Golden Eagles as part of the Dixie Sunshine Classic down here in beautiful St. George, Utah. We are at Flyer Field today. Yesterday for the Dons, we were over at Snow Canyon at Warrior Field and got a little taste of what Snow Canyon season's going to look like. They absolutely thumped the Dons 18-0. Just an absolute just offensive force last night. I mean, they were getting some gale force wins.
They were
as well.
There's a reason it's called Snow Canyon, right? It's impossible to say this early in the season, but it just looks so strong. It's really hard to imagine a 5A team out there that's going to be able to beat them, right?
Yeah, they're very impressive, and I mean they've strung together 3 just very solid years. They were the runner-up to Crimson Cliffs the last 2 years in state, and they won state the year before in 2021. And so it's been a long run of good baseball for Snow Canyon. And again, they've always had a solid program. We highlighted the fact that they've won 5 state championships under their current head coach, and so it's been a marvelous run for the Warriors over there. The bottom of the order here for the Golden Eagles: Max Walker, Bennett Averett, and Colby Warren due up here in inning number 2. And they'll start things off on Max Walker with a strike.
Oh, we know he's got a throwing arm. Let's see if he has a hitting arm.
Yes, maybe 2 of them even. That'd be real dope. He's gonna foul this one away, and that's gonna be danger zone for somebody's car.
Ooh. I didn't see where that one went, but hopefully not through windshield.
That is the hope. A slow roller down that third base line. It will land foul, and it'll move the count to no balls and 2 strikes on Max Walker.
Well, he's chomping at the bit here pretty soon. Hopefully he gets that payoff hit and is able to smack one out there, but he's not shy to swing, that's for sure.
Yeah, up there hacking. That's not the worst thing in the world, but hopefully, shortens up the approach here and does what he can to protect the plate, but be smart about it. And that's exactly what he does there. Watches one that goes upstairs for ball 1. The 1-2 will go a bit outside. It'll even up the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes. The 2-2 is fouled away, and wow, he's gonna kill 2 cars. Nope, that one actually lands inside the fence.
That was outside the fence.
No, that one was outside. No, I've seen a little. There's a little T-baller that's.
Oh. Looks like he's having fun with the parents.
He is. Big swing there and a miss from Walker as he will go down and be the first out of the second inning. first strikeout on the day for either team as well. Bring up number 8 hitter Bennett Averett out in center field, kind of his usual spot. Again, he did come in relief of Chase Johnston in the last game, pitched 3 very solid innings for Maple Mountain.
We saw that great throw he was just able to make to wrap up the inning there.
Oh,
I don't think anybody thought that was going to get in. And as a matter of fact, the catcher came up to make the catch and then pitch it back to the home plate, or maybe just hang on to it, and everyone in the dugout yelled, "Let it go, let it go."
Yeah, that was a special throw there, basically just right on line and perfectly placed there by Averett. That's why he's out there in center field. 2 balls and no strikes. This one ripped and will hit the netting up kind of right by our face.
Yeah, they got the camera crew's heart beating a little bit there.
A little bit of palpitations for sure.
Just west 10 feet, and it could have winged out over there by the cameras.
Yep.
That's the risk of the game out here. Big shout out to our camera crew here with Spanish Fork 17.
Yep. They do a fantastic job. That one's going to be a little bit low, so the count now moves to 3 balls and 1 strike. 2-1 ball game here in the top of the second inning. A 1-run lead for the Golden Eagles over the Grizzlies. Another one that will be high, so it'll be now a walk for Bennett Averett. He will take off all the gear and make his way on over to first base.
I'm just going to mention it right now because it doesn't ever feel right to mention the umpires right after a bad call. So our umpires for this outing tonight are Daryl Rogers behind home plate and Kyle Anderson out in the field.
Nice. We appreciate all the officiating crews that really make these possible, because without them we wouldn't be able to have baseball. We got to have somebody to ump these games, and we appreciate the good work that they do. And I know that they get the brunt of things and kind of get some jeers thrown their way, but honestly they all do a fantastic job.
Well, and you'd think that's why they pay them the big bucks, but I found that oftentimes that's not always the case. They really do just
unfortunately,
enjoy the sport, and
yes,
they're a critical part of the game, and we really don't have enough of them.
Another one fouled away. That
just misses an Atlas, a Volkswagen Atlas, by just a few feet. So it's getting dicey out here.
If you own that Atlas, you were praying. You were praying pretty hard today, and your prayers were heard. So 0-2 here on Colby Warren, batting 9th here for Maple Mountain. That one right up near his face for ball 1. I've been told that I'm an old-timer for calling that chin music.
Not an old-timer. It's just an old-timer saying. So the first time you said that, you said, as the kids say,
as the
chin
kids
music.
say,
and
sure.
I said, yeah, the kids probably don't say that much anymore.
The kids don't say because they're not cool. They don't understand. A little chin music didn't hurt no one. Just an honest way for the pitcher to back you up a little bit.
It's a mental game.
It is. The 1-2 upcoming here from Goodliff is sent foul and into the netting over here, so Warren will stay alive with that count. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Well, I'll tell you, this is a vast improvement on last game where it seemed like the Golden Eagles just didn't want to swing, and now they're swinging at almost everything that comes their way. They're just reading the strike zone a little bit better and not swinging. Most of these, balls have been over the top of the strike zone. That seems to kind of be the trend with East and Goodliff. So I think they're just getting a better read on the balls that are coming their way, and as was not the case there, but for the most part.
For the most part, yeah, it's
the announcer's jinx.
You can tell that I mean, obviously, yes, there's been 2 strikeouts here in this inning, but you can tell that there's a clear change in approach here in this game as opposed to what it was looking like in the game against the Flyers. They are a little bit more aggressive with their swings and just getting after it, which is nice to see. That one's going to be in the dirt, so ball 1 to A.J. Thomas. Took a walk in his first at bat, and he's going to send one out into left center. Play will be made, and that will end the top half of the inning. They will strand Averett, and that'll be that. So the score will stay 2-1 in favor of the Golden Eagles, still sitting on that one-run lead. As we move on over to the bottom half of the second inning, gives us an opportunity to thank our sponsors here at Spanish Fork 17. Coach T, run us through those.
We appreciate 2 Jack's Pizza, Triple T, Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, MVP Sports, and Lance Wilson State Farm. And speaking of MVP Sports, I think we've almost mentioned this every game. Well, we've at least tried to. They do have a new location. I almost have it memorized now, but I'm not even going to try it because
almost. Yes.
It's 82nd East and 9th North, or 900 North in Spanish Fork. They opened up just a couple months ago. They have a new logo, and as a couple just over a year ago, they I might be right on that, have new ownership 3 years ago. So boy, does time fly. Especially
sure
for something
does.
that I don't know about. As of 3 years ago, they have a new owner, and they just do a lot of great things over there. So make sure to run and check them out. I know they do have pickleball equipment, which is less of a sport and more of a lifestyle in Spanish Fork City. You think baseball is big there? Wait till you get to the pickleball courts, and it's a summer evening, and there's about 65 people waiting for their turn to hop on any of the courts. They'll take the one with the crater in it, the one with the ripped net. They don't care.
Look, pickleball is life for some people, and that is totally understandable. I'm a big pickleball enthusiast myself, and so I definitely enjoy getting out on the court. So, yeah, make sure to get all your gear for that at MVP Sports. Big swing and miss there from, that is Deegan Rigby, the designated hitter for Bear River. The 0-1 to him is going to be a little low and outside. Count evens up at 1-1.
When I talked to Donald, Coach Donald, I bet his friends call him Don. I'm not his friend, so I'm just going to go ahead and stick with Donald. Coach Haas.
A little more formal.
Yeah, he the very first name he mentioned was Deegan Rigby. He's the designated hitter. He is the pitcher as well. So we might get to see a little action from there later on. Maybe another game, but I do know that I went over and talked to the coach, and I said, hey, if any of your friends back at Bear River want to go ahead and tune in, then just tell them the channel. So if we do have any viewers from up by the Idaho border, we'd just like to give them a shout-out. We appreciate anybody who appreciates Spanish Fork 17, and hope the weather is getting a little better way up there close to Idaho. I heard that it was pretty unfriendly about the time the team left.
Yeah, certainly better weather down here. And so if you're watching from up there, please stay warm, stay bundled up. Hopefully you got some popcorn or something to keep you nice and toasty, as that's a line shot right in between the shortstop and third baseman. Excellent line drive hit there by Brooks Drollinger. There's one out hit there for the Grizzlies after the strikeout of Rigby. Kind of getting things rolling here in bottom half of the second inning. That one is going to be in there for strike one to Thomas Summers. Summers behind the dish today for the Grizzlies. And batting eighth in the lineup. The 0-1 is also piped in there, so nice pitch from Walker for strike two. Drollinger on first after the nice laser shot out in left field. That one will just barely miss that outside part of the plate. It'll move the count to 1-2 strikes. Isaac Bevan due up next here for Bear River. And then it would be the top of the order back up to Holden Potter. The 1-2 is swung on and missed. Excellent pitch there from Max Walker. Second strikeout of the inning for him, and now 2 outs here in the bottom of the second.
Well, it feels like we've seen more offense in just these first 2 innings than we did in the entire 11-inning game just a couple of hours ago. So it's really nice to see some people getting on base and really just, like I said earlier, chomping at the bit. Great toss there.
Yeah, excellent pitch there from Walker into Bevan for strike one. Yeah, it just really felt like, again, obviously, I mean, you had Chase Johnston on the mound for Maple Mountain, and then you had, you know, an absolute baller of a pitcher as well on the other side of things in Logan Levitt for Dixie.
I know why it happened. I'm just saying that,
man, yeah, it feels different. It really does, and it's you know, I love pitching as much as the next guy, but you know, offense kind of keeps the game churning a little bit, as that's a ground ball over to second base, and that's gonna end the inning. Nice job there by Max Walker to get out of that one, allowing just one hit, and so the score stays 2-1 in favor of the Golden Eagles. We'll get you inning number 3 when we come back on Spanish Fork 17.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
Contact State Farm agent Lance Wilson today.
Hi, welcome to Two Jacks Pizza.
For the best pizza you'll ever taste and our world-famous cheese sticks, come to Two Jacks Pizza on Main Street in Spanish Fork, or call us for a quick delivery. Are you hungry yet?
Welcome back to Spanish Fork 17, inning number 3 of this one between the Maple Mountain Golden Eagles and the Bear River Grizzlies. Last game of the Dixie Sunshine Classic for the Golden Eagles, and starting off well here so far through 2 innings. The score is 2-1 in favor of Maple Mountain over Bear River. So they've got a RBI double from Cy Chrisman, and then benefited from a throwing error that ended up also scoring Chase Johnston. So Thomas and Johnston scoring, Chrisman with the big RBI double, and then it's been, you know, a little bit quieter, but it's been nice to see a little bit of a change of approach at the plate for the Golden Eagles. Feel like they've been a little bit more aggressive.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you there. You know, and one thing that's really hard to quantify is Johnston. He throws heaters in there time after time after time, and they're hard to hit, but it's a different way. You know, you're gonna be late on your swing more often than not. Whereas here for the Golden Eagles under Max Walker, we're just seeing a lot of different pitches, a lot of different looks, and kind of getting batters off their rhythm just a little bit.
First pitch strike into Chase Johnston. It'll be 2-3-4 in the lineup for Maple Mountain here in the 3rd inning. Johnston, Chrisman, and Bringhurst. Johnston puts a charge into one out into right field, and it is going to land fair. So a nice little drop job there for Chase Johnston. He will get himself a leadoff single here in the top of the 3rd.
If only he could have seen 10 seconds into the future, he would have rounded that corner and maybe been halfway to 3rd by the time that you just never know what's going to happen to the ball on the way back, but it is what it is.
It is what it is, and so we'll be content with the fact that it is in fact a leadoff single, and it will bring up the hottest bat in the lineup right now, Cy Chrisman, with the RBI double in this one, and a 3-for-4 game in the last one, as that one will be just a bit outside for ball 1.
And towards the end of the game of last game, Chrisman was intentionally walked, and there's a reason for that. He's just found a way to connect almost every time he's up to the plate, it seems like.
A big swing and miss there for strike 1, so 1 ball and 1 strike on the slugging first baseman. Big swing at that one, too, right around the letters for strike 2.
Well, you know what they say, 3rd time's the charm.
3rd time's the charm, right? Yeah, 3rd swing here, hoping to make some contact. Does widen up the stance a little bit here with that 2-strike approach. And boy, does he dig in. He sends that thing out to left field. Nice play out there in left by Ferguson to make the play. Man, he's laced up 2 good ones here in this game. RBI double and then just a banger out there to left, but unfortunately caught by Ferguson.
Yeah, great running catch by Nash Ferguson, and there's not much more you can say about that. I really thought that one, just by the sound of it, I thought that might be out of the park today, but just barely managed to stay in, and well, again, is what it is.
It is what it is. Needed a little bit more of a launch angle there. Brinkhurst will ground that over to first, and the play will be made over at second, and they turn 2. Nice play there by Bear River to turn 2. Brinkhurst grounds into the double play, and that is going to end the top of the 3rd inning as Johnston gets himself on base with the single, but then Brinkhurst grounds into the double play. That will end the top of the 3rd. No score in the top of the inning, so it will stay 2-1 in favor of the Golden Eagles. As we move on over to the bottom half of the inning, gives us an opportunity to thank our sponsors here at Spanish Fork 17. That is 2 Jacks Pizza, Triple T Heating, Cooling and Plumbing, MVP Sports, and Lance Wilson State Farm. While we're talking about sponsors, we'd love to give a shout out to Mercedes over at the Fellas Chop Shop. Make sure to give her a visit, get a nice haircut from Mercedes and her crew, and tell her that Pete sent you, and tell her that, hey, you would make a really great Spanish Fork 17 sponsor. We would absolutely love that, and hopefully you will love her and love her staff, and love the fresh cut that you'll get over there at the Fellas Chop Shop. So make sure to stop on by.
Well, they're not an official sponsor yet, but they absolutely could be,
but
and we'd love them to be. All our sponsors over here at Spanish Fork 17, we don't call them assets, we call them partners. They're
absolutely.
They're just really good to have on the team, and you know, I'm looking around here, seeing about. Well, I'm not going to name numbers, but there's a good amount of people here who could probably do with a chop shop. And by the way, that's chop shop haircuts. You know, there's chop shops, old chop shops they had in New York where you go in, get that car stripped down.
Absolutely. So yeah, so her place is called the Fellas Chop Shop. The Fellas Chop Shop. So make sure to stop on by and get yourself a nice fresh haircut. And like I said, tell them that Pete sent you. That one is sent out into center field. Averett underneath it, and that is caught for out number 1 here in the bottom of the 3rd.
Oh, just great play from Averett so far. He's almost been as good in the center field as we've seen just about any catcher be behind home plate there. He's kind of like the backstop in the backside of the field, as the catcher is the backstop right here at home plate.
Yeah, he really has done a nice job and has made some plays that require quite a bit of range. He had one where he was running all the way back to the warning track, and that thing is way up in the air. And Averett's had a nice busy ball game here. That's going to be his 2nd catch here of the inning, and quick two outs here in the bottom of the 3rd. Got the absolutely beautiful throw out to end the last inning. Now 2 catches here in inning number 3. That's going to be strike 1 to Garrick Marble.
Just barely eclipsed the bottom left corner there.
Marble grounded out in his first at bat. That one will be in the dirt. 1 ball and 1 strike. That one will just barely miss. It'll move the count to 2 balls and 1 strike. Tight ball game here for you on Spanish Fork 17, 2-1 with the lead going to the Golden Eagles right now. Foul ball there that will even the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes on Garrick Marble.
Was that tight ball game or tied ball game?
Tight.
I thought so. I was like,
T-I-G-H-T.
Are you trying to manifest a home
I ain't
run
manifesting
for Bear River?
Nothing for Bear River. Though admittedly, I don't want to, I obviously don't want to jinx it here, but Marble has hit one out in this tournament.
We should probably just be quiet now.
But it's fine. The count is 2. The count is 2-2. Walker's going to reset here. Nice outing so far for starting pitcher Max Walker through 2 2/3. He's only allowed the 1 run. Marble fouls yet another one away. He'll stay alive and be able to take another hack at this thing. And that one ends up hitting ends up hitting Marble. He will take his base.
Yeah, sometimes they have to sell it, lean into it just a little bit, or turn and lean at the same time. He didn't have to do much there, did he?
No, not too much at all. That one was pretty obvious. Had a nice thwack to it too. So yeah, pretty sure that he got hit by it.
Those are the best kind of battle scars, though.
Absolutely.
The black and blue and purple ones.
Yes. Certainly beats the red ones, that's for sure.
Oh man.
Yeah, nice little bruise to say, yeah, I got hit by a fastball there. Got me on base, and I scored the tying run or winning run or whatever it be. You know, definitely goes for great stories. That's going to now be strike 2 on Goodliff. Goodliff with a single in the first inning. And then ended up getting thrown out at home by Averett. In the 0-2, a chopper heading towards the Maple Mountain dugout. Be collected and kept for safekeeping for later.
Speaking of safekeeping, there's a baseball right here on the desk.
There sure is.
That was given to us by safekeeping. We're not going to say which team because they may or may not still be at the tournament.
The team in question just recently left the building. Well, we'll let you figure out who that might be. But yes, there was a missed throw during a warm-up that went to a fence, and I saw that no one wanted to go collect it, so I went to go grab it and assumed that someone was going to, come see me about it, but never did, as there's a line shot over to Bringhurst. He gloves it, and that will be the end of the third inning. Nice, clean inning there for the most part for Max Walker. The score stays 2-1. We'll get you the fourth inning when we come back on Spanish Fork 17.
If you're looking for a workout, you know MVP Sports is the place to start, and that includes pickleball. MVP Sports has all you need to get active in this growing sport. Paddles, shoes, clothing, and the pickleballs. MVP Sports in Spanish Fork.
The best time to check your furnace is before it fails, and you can rely on Triple T to do the job right. Our technicians are trained every year so you can sleep better at night, knowing your furnace is safe to operate. Call Triple T at 798-7711 to schedule your tune-up today.
Welcome back to Spanish Fork 17. It's inning number 4 of this one between the Maple Mountain Golden Eagles and the Bear River Grizzlies. A 2-1 ball game, 1-run lead for Maple Mountain over Bear River. This is the last game of the tournament as part of the Dixie Sunshine Classic that the Golden Eagles will be a part of. They will then head back on home to Spanish Fork and get ready for a couple more regular games before they then head into their actual region play. Get to see Goodliff warming up here for the Grizzlies. Has gone through 3 innings, has allowed a few hits, a couple walks, and has allowed the 2 runs. Both of those coming on a RBI double by Cy Chrisman in the first inning. Otherwise, has really kind of put the clamps down here recently on the Golden Eagles lineup. The beneficiary of a double play to end the last inning. So it'll be batters 5, 6, and 7 in the lineup for Maple Mountain. Nash Ferguson, Cole Erickson, and Max Walker. A good long stare down, and then first pitch will be in the dirt for ball 1.
One hop into the mask.
Yeah, it's unpleasant for the catcher, but they're used to it.
I don't think he blinked.
I don't think he did. I certainly would have done at least a little bit of blinking, as that one will be a little bit low. Move the count to 2 balls and no strikes. Ferguson popped it up to the catcher in his first at bat.
You've seen the video where they foul that fastball and it goes back and gets stuck in the catcher's mask.
Oh, of course, yeah, yeah. You're just like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, just a little bit more velocity, and it would have been through the mask, into the glasses, into the eyes.
Yeah, and you're just like, oh, I can't. Too much.
Catchers are a special breed. I don't think they have that part working in their head that says, hey, you should probably be scared of this baseball going 80 miles per hour, 90 miles per hour right at your face.
Yeah, there is just something. I mean, granted, they're also wearing a veritable suit of armor, but...
you say that, but their arms are exposed. There's parts of
Arms
their
are exposed.
thighs,
Yeah,
the neck.
There's still stuff going on there as that one is sent out by Ferguson out to center field, and play will be made for out number 1. But the shin guards, the chest protector, thankfully you wish that there were maybe a few more bars on the mask, but also visibility is a thing.
Visibility. They used to have those catcher suits that would go all the way down and protect the groin, but now they just essentially wear the same thing just inside the pants.
Yeah.
Probably better that way. I mean, I heard it walking around the squat movements with old catchers harnesses. They did limit mobility a little bit.
Yes, and so having more mobility but still having the protection there is probably a nice thing.
Good compromise.
Yeah. Count moves to 1-1 on Erickson, who's 0 for 1 on the day. He popped it up to second in his first at bat. He'll pop this one well behind home plate. Then he'll move the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes. That one in the dirt. Nice job to let that one come up and hit the chest. Moves the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Sun is starting to come down here in St. George. I can already kind of feel it, that it's starting to get a little bit cooler. I can also feel it on my skin as well. The sun's not blaring on me, so.
Well, not only is the sun down a little bit, the pace of play has also cooled down a little bit here, too.
It has a little bit as
there's
well.
always a stare-off between the pitcher and the hitter, and, maybe that's just part of the play here for Easton Goodlift. He's doing these stare downs, and so far they seem to pay off for him in at least a little bit.
That one pumped in for strike 1 to opposing pitcher Max Walker, who struck out in his first at bat in the second inning. It's now 3 strikeouts on the day for Goodlift after he gets Erickson down on strikes, as that one is going to find its way down, nestle down nicely in that outfield grass out in right field for a 2-out single for Max Walker.
Well, not only is he a Max Walker, he's a Max hitter, too.
Max Walker, Max hitter, Max pitcher, He'd just be doing all the Max things.
Max Velocity.
Let's
That's a
go.
superhero name. Bringing a pinch runner for him.
You gotta protect your pitcher.
Protect the pitcher.
So that's understandable. That is it's number 13 coming in. That's Sawyer Leifson.
Sawyer, the Viking Leifson, right?
That's right.
We had this conversation
Correct.
last time about whether his last name was German or Scandinavian, and we landed on Scandinavian.
Landed on, ironically enough, yes, for Scandinavia.
I think they landed here, right?
They sure did. They
here,
definitely were the first
Greenland.
ones. That's right.
Well, first white ones. I'll tell you, there were ones a long, long time
there
before
were many.
that.
yes, but yes, the first of the explorers, I guess, as you will. Yes, European explorers. Fun little tangent, but we are here with Bennett Averett, number 8 hitter in the lineup. Took a walk in his previous plate appearance, hoping to extend things here in inning number 4, and he's going to send one that's going to go past the second baseman. They do send the runner over to third base. Nice piece of running there for Leifson.
And a little bobble there by Stefan or Stefan. We're not quite sure on this one. It's probably Stefan Starnes. A little bobble there. Make sure that the runner, over on third, makes it there safe and sound. I think either way he would have been totally fine, but he gets there with plenty of time to spare.
A little extra insurance with the bobble there. He was going regardless, but yeah, definitely more safe because of the little bit of bobble. So runners on the corners here with Colby Warren up. He's going to pop this thing a mile into the sky. And a little bit of communication issues there, but eventually the shortstop is able to call things off, and that will be the end of the top of the fourth. The Golden Eagles threaten once again with 2 runners on. They will leave them stranded, and the score will stay 2-1 in favor of Maple Mountain over Bear River. As we move on over to the bottom half of the 4th inning, it gives us an opportunity to thank our sponsors here at Spanish Fork 17. Coach T.
We'd like to thank MVP Sports, Two Jacks Pizza, Triple T Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, and Lance Wilson State Farm. And Triple T, Heating, Cooling, Plumbing. We're in that funny time of the year where you probably need both of them or maybe all 3 of them, depending on what you had for lunch.
Yes.
I had a sandwich, so I'm kind of safe in that category. But, you know, just... well, everyone at home knows what I'm talking about. I don't have to go into the gory details.
Yeah, no need there. But, yeah, obviously, you know, it's there's some things that are just more agreeable than others. We'll just put it that way. As Max Walker's getting all warmed up here for the Golden Eagles for a 4th inning of work, has mostly shut down. This Bear River offense has only allowed just the 1 run so far, so doing a nice job and preserving the arms of the bullpen. Again, they were a little bit taxed in the last game against Dixie. Ended up having to use 3 pitchers, and so any amount of innings that they can get out of Max Walker, they are going to absolutely appreciate them.
Yeah, 50 in-game throws feels pretty good. 60, you're pushing it. I've heard of people playing back-to-backs where they're giving it 130, 150, you know, and that's just a little too much. You'll throw your arm out doing that, so obviously he's doing a good job here of playing some good defensive pitching.
Nice ground ball that finds its way in between the shortstop and third baseman for a lead-off single here in the bottom half of the 4th inning for Colton Summers.
Now there are 2 Summers on the team, one behind the plate, one in midfield. I'm guessing they're brothers as well. There's 2 Marbles.
There are 2 Marbles as well, yes.
So it might be a team. When I talked to Coach before the game, Coach Haas, he said that he has 4 seniors and 2 of them are Garrett Marble and Talon Marble. So either they're twins or cousins or something of that situation. But they do come from Bear River, which to my understanding used to be a pretty rural area, but is growing very quickly, which Coach Haas had a couple of things to say about that. But my guess is they're probably brothers on the squad.
Oh, that was a nice tag there by Chrisman. But just a tick late there. Count is 1-0 on Deegan Rigby. And he's going to send one out to center field. It's going to send Averett all the way back to essentially the warning track, about a couple steps in. Nice shot out there to center field, but nice job by Averett to get underneath that one for out number 1.
Well, just watching him play, he just really knows what he's doing. It's a really heads-up thing for him to take a quick look at the velocity, look at the kind of pitch of where that ball's going, have a really realistic understanding of where it's going to end up, and then he ran out there, took his eyes off the ball, turned around, found the ball, and made the catch. It's sometimes those midfielders and just outfielders in general will try to keep their eyes on the ball the whole time and sacrifice, you know, their footing as they step foot over foot facing the opposite direction of the way they're running. So just a great heads-up play by him.
Yeah, it's a skill to be able to do what you need to do out in the outfield, and Aver definitely has that skill. As that one is going to be a little bit low and outside to Brooks Drawlinger, who had a single in inning number 2. So 1 for 1 on the day. Big swing and miss at that one, though, so it'll even up the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. 2-1 ball game here on Spanish Fork 17. It's a 1-run lead for Maple Mountain. They're up against the Bear River Grizzlies. Again, this is the last game of the Dixie Sunshine Classic for Maple Mountain. Hoping to get out of here with a 500 record after a just marathon of a game earlier today against Dixie.
A hard fought
11-inning Lots of stuff going on. Just crazy game there against the Flyers. And then, I mean, they absolutely just blasted Payson in their first game, and then a hard-fought battle as well against Box Elder. So a really good showing at this tournament for the Golden Eagles. A lot to take away from it, and hopefully they can use that in region play coming up here later in the month. Another throw over to first.
I'll tell you what, their cohesiveness over there between the pitch and mound and first with Chrisman is just really impressive. They haven't been able to make the tag yet, but every time the throw's been right on target. And it's different to make the throw from the mound to the play, over the plate, home plate. As they go ahead and show again there, they're just trying to keep him honest now at this point. But it's one thing to make that throw versus switching your footing real quick and trying to make the toss over there. And then just a great job by Chrisman to get the ball to the ground as quickly as possible. So they haven't yet, but I'm sure they're going to catch someone in a lazy position a little bit later in the game.
That one just a tick outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes now on Drawlinger. Thomas Summers due up next here for the Grizzlies. He would be followed by Isaac Bevan should we get to that point. And 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th. 2-1 ball game. He's going to take a wild swing at that one for strike 3, and the ball ends up just slightly nicking him, so not able to try to advance on that one. But the runner does advance and get himself into scoring position with 2 outs. Strikeout number 3 on the day for Max Walker. And it brings up Thomas Summers, who was one of those strikeout victims in the 2nd inning. He'll watch a pitch just miss outside for ball 1.
Very closed stance for him. Obviously that has a lot to do with where he's swinging to on the field, but he opens it up a little bit more here, but just doesn't seem like the type of player with that wide stance that's swinging to the back fences.
Yeah, it's kind of an interesting approach there from Summers.
Now, some players do that. They start with closed and step into the wide, and some players start in the wide and step even wider. So.
And then you've got like those super extreme cases like Giancarlo Stanton, where it is just straight up like crazy closed and just
closed and closed,
closed and closed, and only ever closed, just to help him to be able to see the ball a little bit better and be able to keep it fair. But then you got other guys that are like extreme super wide, so it's whatever works for you and whatever works for your swing. Count 3-0 here on Summers, and that one just about nicks him, but instead he's just going to take the free pass over to first. It's the first walk issued on the day by Max Walker.
They just bring in a pinch runner over here, and that I believe is number 9, Loxon. I'm not sure if I'm reading that right.
Yeah, let's not rely on coach's handwriting and instead look over at that's Jackson Barfus who came in, and that was a nice base hit for Bear River, and a nice throw by Chrisman. Almost got the runner out there at third, trying to advance on it, but a big hit there by Isaac Bevan to bring in a run and to tie up this ball game now at 2-2 here in the bottom of the 4th.
As third base will pop out of place, and they're getting a grounds manager out here to maybe they won't need it. Oh, they are. They're bringing a grounds manager out here to kind of take care of that.
Yeah, it makes sense. Make sure to get your bases nice and secured. Taking a little time there. We see had a nice view there of Walker talking with his catcher. But yeah, a little bit of stoppage of time here just to make sure that everything gets all lined up with the base. Want to make sure that it's perfectly aligned, of course, with the baseline, and just make sure that it is firm and nicely secured in there.
Now Walker and Wheeler, they definitely seem to get along as just about as well as anybody can. But I got to tell you that during that first game is really a special thing that we saw between Johnston and Catterson, just at the high school level, as far as the understanding they had of each other. And it seemed like every single time Catterson was just well ahead of exactly where that ball was going to end up. So they've obviously played together quite a bit. And also just a big shout out to the pitching coach or the throwing coach of these boys over here for Maple Mountain. I don't know who exactly that is, but they're pretty deep as far as the relievers and bullpen go.
They really are. Like I've been impressed with the overall pitching staff of Maple Mountain, and again, we talked about it in earlier in the broadcast and as well as in the last game that Coach Thomas talked about the strength of this team being the starting pitching. As that was looks like they called a balk on Walker there. And that's going to allow another run to score here. So now the score's 3-2.
Well, the dugout's getting into it now. Bear River tastes blood in the water, or salmon in the water, since they're Grizzlies.
Since they're
right?
Grizzlies, exactly. That's the best way to put it. As that one is in there for a strike to Holden Potter.
That'll quiet the dugout right quick.
And nothing quite like just a well-placed first pitch strike. And that one clips the outside part of the plate, so now in a hole here, 0-2. 3-2 ball game. A couple runs across here in the bottom of the fourth inning for Bear River. Still threatening here with a runner on second. That one clips the dirt. It'll now be 1 ball and 2 strikes. Potter 1 for 2 on the day. He hit a double to start this game off, and then lined one out to center in his last at bat in the third. The 1-2 is slapped out into right field. It's tailing and will land just a bit foul. That one was pretty easy extra bases there for Potter and would have been an RBI double.
Tantalizingly. That is a perfect word. Just inches. It's crazy that a game on such a big field is still a game of inches. Or
yeah, like it's still determined by sometimes just a little bit. That ball's just like, an inch or two to the left or right, and it makes it a completely different ball game.
Yeah, that actually would have made the difference in last game that the Golden Eagles played here. They there could have been a infield out tossed over to first base that would have ended the game with the lead. At the time it was 3-2. Could have wrapped things up very nicely there, but just off the mid of the pitcher at the time, who I'm trying to remember. Was it Johnston still?
Johnston was still in the game at that point, yes. And so it was off the glove of Johnston, and it then ricocheted out into the outfield, which allowed that run to score there in the bottom of the 7th for Dixie, and then led to the 11-inning marathon that we got to witness.
Well, we hate to pour salt on old wounds, but just illustrating how this really is a game.
What it does is that thing is laced out in between short and third, and they hold up the runner. There's a nice throw out there in left field by who is that?
Out in left field. That's Ferguson.
Ferguson. There we go. Yes. Ferguson out in left field for the Golden Eagles. So it'll be runners on the corners with 2 outs here in the 4th inning, as there's a mound visit here as they want to talk things over with Walker.
I mean, for the first 3 innings, he really played a solid game. And I think it's kind of just the mental battle or maybe the wear and tear. I don't know how much he pitched in the first 2 games. We didn't see him last game. But he's just, the wear and tear of a whole tournament weekend. I know some of these boys, they get down out of town and they like to stay up late and play video games or eat Sour Patch Kids or whatever it is that you do in a tournament. So, probably both. Drink Mountain Dews. So, sometimes just the mental wear and tear starts to wear on you. You end up pretty tired at the end of the, 2-day weekend down here in St. George. So, but as far as those first couple innings when he really pitched good, and they're going to keep him on the mound.
Yeah, this is definitely the right call here, I think, for Coach Thomas. Just see what happens here. See if he can get the final out of the inning and then give himself a nice clean slate for inning number 5. He will have to deal with Talon Marble, who's 0 for 2 on the day. A liner out to the shortstop, then a fly ball out to center for his first 2 at bats. He'll take the first pitch a little bit outside for ball 1. Bevan at third and Potter at first for Bear River. Has already scored 2 runs in this inning. That one is fouled away by Marble. Count now 1 ball and 1 strike.
No cars were harmed in the making of that
No
hit.
cars harmed. We love that for all car owners here. The 1-1 upcoming here from Walker. Swing, and Thomas is going to airmail one out into center field, and that's going to be an easy run there for Bevan, and that's going to extend this Grizzly lead now to 2. 3 runs now across here in this 4th inning. My apologies. That's not Thomas behind.
Yeah, I was going to say
that's
that's
Thomas behind the plate.
That's Nate.
It is
Wheeler.
Yeah, my apologies. It's Wheeler. I'm so used to AJ Thomas being the catcher outside of Catterson.
Well, the catcher for Bear River is a Thomas Summers.
So that's at least something. So that's a single into center field. The nice throw in by Averett is cut off by Walker there, and that's going to be yet another run here.
Well, the Bears are really starting to gain some momentum at this point. Salem Hills has to find a way to shut them down here.
Yeah, the Golden Eagles really needing that final out here. Apologies, yes.
I just said
Maple
Salem Hills.
Mountain. Maple Mountain. Brings up Garrick Marble now for the Grizzlies. 0 for 1 on the day. A ground out and a hit by pitch. Yet another run over to second, and that is also going to squirt out into center field. Nice throw by Averett. Brinkhurst had to jump up to make sure to grab that one, and that's going to score yet another run here for Bear River. So now 4 runs across here in the inning, and now a 5-2 game in favor of the Grizzlies.
Yeah, Wheeler's making the right read for the most part. Just needs to bring that ball down a couple feet.
Yeah. I mean, it's a difficult throw from catcher. And again, like there's a big skill that comes with skill set that comes with that pop up and then throwing it all the way across the diamond.
I think catchers are one of the most underrated positions.
They truly are.
There's about 2 positions I would say that just anchor the entire team. That's first base and catcher.
Yes.
And out of the 2 of them, I hate to say it, but a catcher is definitely, just because of the, how much time you spend at every single play, you're just critically involved in the play. It catches up to you.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you're involved with the pitching staff. You're working with the pitcher, and there's a relationship between pitcher and catcher that you need to develop. There's a relationship between you and the infielders of knowing where you want them to be shift-wise as that thing is sent out into left field. A diving catch made out there. That's a
Excellent
nice play by
Ferguson.
Ferguson. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, and that's exactly what Maple Mountain needed there just to get out of that inning. 4 runs come across for Bear River, so they take the lead here in the 4th inning, 5-2. We will get you inning number 5 when we come back on Spanish Fork 17.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
Contact State Farm agent Lance Wilson today.
Hi, welcome to 2 Jack's Pizza.
For the best pizza you'll ever taste and our world-famous cheese sticks, come to 2 Jack's Pizza on Main Street in Spanish Fork or call us for a quick delivery. Are you hungry yet?
Welcome back to Spanish Fork 17. It is inning number 5 for this one between the Maple Mountain Golden Eagles and the Bear River Grizzlies. The score is now 5-2, a 4-run bottom half of the 4th inning for Bear River has given them a 3-run lead here in this finale game for Maple Mountain, as this will be their last game of the Dixie Sunshine Classic down here in St. George. The sun is just about down at this point, and now starting to feel a little bit chillier weather here down in the desert. And it's also been a little bit of a chilly desert for the Golden Eagles offense, as they got the 2 runs in the first, and then it's been zeros on the scoreboard after that.
It's turned into Dixie State moonshine. I can't say that. We're in Utah after all. Dixie State outlawed for quite a while.
It's going to be the top of the order here for Maple Mountain. A.J. Thomas, Chase Johnston, and Cy Christman due up in inning number 5. And so a big moment here to get the bats alive and wake them up here on a sleepy evening here in St. George, Utah. And certainly at the heart of this one, Cy Christman, again, has been absolutely red hot in this entire tournament. Came into this one 3 for 4 in the previous game, and then hit a rocket for a double in the first, and then hit just a blast out to left field that was pretty close to being a home run, caught out there on the warning track. And Thomas is going to get hit by a pitch.
I'm going to be honest, maybe we just had a bad angle here. I did not see where that actually clipped him.
I do believe that's actually the second time he's been hit. I remember marking him down for a walk in inning number 1, but thinking things over, I think he also got hit by a pitch in that one too. It just kind of barely clipped him there too. So
maybe he has
whatever he's got to do to get on base, you know.
I'm not sure.
Something's going on there, you know. But he gets himself on first base to get things rolling here in inning number 5 for Maple Mountain, and that'll be a pitch that will be outside to Chase Johnston. Johnston's put together a nice game here, 2 singles, so 2 for 2 on the day. Scored on a throwing error in that first inning. He's going to pop this thing out into foul territory and runs out of real estate over there and runs right into that third base fence.
Hey, look down every now and then. It might pay big dividends.
Yes. I mean, to be fair to him, it was closer to the fence than I actually anticipated it was going to be.
I mean, if he could have jumped 8 feet, he could have made that catch.
Absolutely,
right?
Yeah.
If only we were all Michael Jordan.
Yeah, if only. But then Michael Jordan wouldn't be so special. So, you know, is what is, I guess.
That's true. Well, there's a car alarm. Maybe somebody got hit with a baseball. They are right there.
That is
in the danger zone.
In the danger zone. Johnston steps back in with the count 1-1. Thomas at first base after getting hit by a pitch to lead things off here in this 5th inning. Johnston will watch one a little bit high. Move the count to 2 balls and 1 strike. Again, Cy Christman due up next here for the Golden Eagles, and Logan Bringhurst in the hole. This one in the dirt to Johnston. Count now 3 balls and 1 strike. And other than a 2-run first inning, Easton Goodliff has kept this Golden Eagles lineup in check, has now put up 3 straight zeros on the scoreboard. Maple Mountain hoping to change that here in this 5th inning as Johnston fouls that one away, and it'll now be a full count on the Golden Eagles right fielder.
Well, we know Johnston's got the arm on the mound, and he definitely has the swing on the play. And even if he's not able to get dividends here, well, next up they have a pretty strong swinger as well.
They sure do. He's hit two pretty big blasts already in this game. The payoff pitch to Johnston. It's going to be chopped over to third. Opts to go just to first base. Probably a smart play there by the third baseman just to secure the out over there at first.
That's Holden Potter.
So good recognition there by Potter. It does advance Thomas over to second base, so he is in scoring position for the big swinging Cy Chrisman already with the RBI double in this one. He is 1 for 2 on the day with that double, and then a line shot out to left field that was caught at the warning track. As you now can hear, the wind is starting to kind of rumble in a little bit. Chrisman takes a nice big swing at that one and fouls it away.
It's coming from the west and blowing out towards the east, so it's not really going to help. As a matter of fact, it's going to work against just about any hit taken here. May make things a little bit more difficult for the outfielders as they try to read where that actual hit is going to end up.
And the wind is such a fickle and tricky thing. Sometimes it gives, like last night for Snow Canyon. Sometimes it takes, like it potentially could here tonight, as that one is going to be off the plate for ball one. 1 ball and 1 strike to Chrisman. Thomas in scoring position over there at second base. Golden Eagles hoping to cut into this 3-run lead that the Grizzlies gave themselves in inning number 4. It's a Goodliff will step off the mound, reset, recharge, and
you hear the now we can just count on the one guy. I believe he's a Maple Mountain fan almost every single time. That's a balk. I think he knows about 3 words, and I just said them.
Those might be the 3 of them, yes.
Maybe he's just enjoying his sunflower seeds so much he only makes time to say those 3 words, but
I mean, yeah. You gotta love them sunflower seeds. Got to make sure to get them in that cup, like the PA announcer was saying. But
right,
you know, some people are out here to enjoy some baseball and choose some sunflower seeds. And sometimes you run out of sunflower seeds, and you're just kind of enjoying baseball. And sometimes, yeah, you just miss the cups. That's going to be a fly ball that's going to land safely out in the outfield. That's going to send Thomas home, and he will get in there standing for the first run for Maple Mountain since that first inning. So another RBI hit for Cy Chrisman. This one a little bloop single out to center field that will make the score now 5-3.
Well, Thomas isn't a slugger by any means. I mean, you can just about tell that just by looking at him, but the kid is quick. Just the way he rounded third, I don't even think he touched the ground once between third and home.
Yeah, he definitely can fly, and he's also, for being a smaller guy, he does have some surprising power. He's, I believe he had 2 home runs last year, so 1 or 2 home runs last year, if I'm remembering correctly, as that one is in there for a strike to Logan Bringhurst. Bringhurst 0 for 2 on the day. A liner to first, and then grounded into a double play in the 3rd inning. That one will just miss by a tick. Moves the count to 1 ball and 1 strike. Yeah, they were playing Chrisman so deep that there was just no way that they were going to be able to get that bloop, that little bloop hit that he just had. Little check swing foul ball there for Bringhurst will now bring the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes. 5-3 ball game here on Spanish Fork 17. A 2-run lead for the Grizzlies over the Golden Eagles. Big 4-run inning for Bear River to give them the lead. And 1 run already across here in this 5th inning as Bringhurst will go down on strikes. That'll be the 4th strikeout of the day there for Goodliff. And now be 2 outs here in the top of the 5th.
Oh, Maple Mountain needs to... I said it right that time. No more Salem Hills.
No more Salem Hills. Them Skyhawks can fly right out of here.
Maple Mountain needs to figure out something quick here because they let it just get too close to the wire. And, you know, last game, obviously, that didn't end up paying dividends for them. So, you know, they just can't let it get that close. So they need to start generating some offense right here, right now. And I know I say that up in my cushy, you know, seat and say, come on, guys, let's get a bat on the ball here. But, yeah, truly, if anything's going to happen, this might be the point to make that happen.
Yeah, again, you're going through the heart of your order here. You started things off at the top of the order with Thomas, and he was able to score on the bloop single by Crispin. But, I mean, you just had Bringhurst up, who's your cleanup hitter. Ferguson's hitting 5 in the order. So these are guys that you're expecting to be run producers, as that one is in there for a strike. Just kind of clips the inside corner there on Ferguson, so the count now 1-1. And Crispin not with, like, really any kind of lead over there at first base.
Well, he's playing it close, and he's a big body.
A little bit closer, and that squirts away enough there for him to be able to make his way on over to second base and get himself into scoring position. Gets himself over to second on the pass ball as that one just kind of squirts away there from Summers. Also moves the count to 2 balls and 1 strike as well on Ferguson. Little conference here between pitcher and catcher now that there's a runner on second base. I think they want to just go over signs and talk over strategy. The lights are really officially coming on truly now here at Flyer Field, really starting to shift into night mode here in St. George. A 2-1 offering upcoming from Goodliff will be fouled away by Ferguson. Evens up the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ferguson on the day is 0 for 2, popped up to the catcher and has lined one out to center as well.
Although he did make that catch over there in left field.
He did make a
So
nice
defensively,
play.
he's been there for us, but you see something out of him right here.
Does a nice job of holding off on a low outside pitch that touches dirt. So it'll move to a full count here. 2 outs in the top of the 5th. Golden Eagles with 1 run across here in the inning, hoping for another one here on a potential RBI hit by Ferguson. We'll see payoff pitch. It will be low and outside, and Ferguson will make his way on over to first base after the walk issued by Goodliff. Second walk issued on the day by the Grizzlies starting pitcher. There'll be runners on first and second with 2 outs in the top of the 5th, and it brings up Cole Erickson, who's 0 for 2 on the day, a pop-up and a strikeout.
I wonder if the frustration of him playing second base and just in the last inning where Bay River was able to pump a couple in and the ball's going over his head, I wonder if that frustration will carry on to him being on the mound now, or excuse me, at the plate now.
Certainly something to think about for Erickson as he does watch that first pitch in for a strike.
I mean, this is just, it's such a mental game, and sometimes you'll let the things carry over when you really shouldn't from the past inning, but he seems pretty laser focused right here.
He certainly does as he watches that one in the dirt, and will move the count to 1 ball and 1 strike. He's got a nice hole on the left side of the infield as it's the shortstop that's kind of holding the bag over there at second base. I kind of find that a little bit curious to me as with a right-hander up, you're leaving a big chunk of real estate out there in the infield. That is going to be popped up out towards third base, and it's going to be off of his glove, which is going to land foul, which is going to reset things here as, all the runners will be told to retreat back to their prior base.
Well, turns a bad situation okay real quick.
Yeah, that certainly probably should have been the last out here of the inning as it ends up going
right off
of
Potter.
Right off the glove of Potter. Just a little bit of a bad read there on that foul ball, but because it isn't caught and it does in fact land foul, that is why we have the call there, and the runners have to go back to first and second. So 1-2 pitch upcoming here to Erickson. And he's going to smack one out into center field.
You hope they drop it again here, but probably not.
And no, nice catch out there The play made by Summers, and that will end the top of the 5th inning as the Golden Eagles threaten to do a little bit more damage, but end up only scoring 1 run. But they do cut into this deficit. Now a 5-3 ball game between the Grizzlies and the Golden Eagles. As we move on over to the bottom half of the 5th inning, gives us an opportunity to thank our sponsors here at Spanish Fork 17. That is Triple T Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, Lance Wilson State Farm, 2 Jacks Pizza, and MVP Sports.
And we would be amiss if we did not mention Mercedes over at the Fellas Chop Shop. We're hoping to bring her on as a partner over here with Spanish Fork 17. And one thing to mention, it's called the Fellas Chop Shop, but it's not just for the fellas, is it? Go in there if you need a haircut, regardless of if you're a fella or, you know, what's the opposite of fella? Because I know there's ladies, gentlemen,
Sister?
boys, girls.
A gal.
Fellas
okay,
and gals.
Fellas
okay.
and gals.
I thought it was guys and gals, but yeah. So we're hearing from our producer that it does cater mostly to men, but you know, I've driven past that place a couple of times and thought, man, that looks like a barbershop. It almost looks just as much like a social club because everyone in there has a smile on their face. They're all having a good time. They got TVs on the wall, and so if you're looking for a haircut and maybe just a good time as you relax after work, sit back in a nice barber chair, then head on over there.
The Fellas Chop Shop. Tell them Pete sent you, get a nice haircut, and then do some smooth talking for us if you can, and hopefully help us out to make the Fellas Chop Shop a potential sponsor here for us at Spanish Fork 17. We would absolutely love that. Max Walker back on the bump here for Maple Mountain, and he throws one in there, and it gets sent out to right field. Johnston will range over there and make the play for out number 1.
Well, the outfield sure has been dependable for Maple Mountain today, hasn't it?
It really has. They've done a nice job out there, and they've covered a lot of grass. Again, that was not exactly an easy play out there in right field. Again, he's also having to range towards the, out there towards foul territory as well. Again, they've all of them have shown great range and great arms as well.
Yeah, especially, and we can't point out enough, Bennett Averett, who was able to make that great tag at home plate at bottom of the 2nd, if I'm remembering right.
Yeah, bottom of the 2nd, guns out. It was the bottom of the 1st inning, actually.
Oh,
that one is a
long 1st inning then.
It was a long 1st inning, as that one is fouled away there by Summers, and it will move the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes. That one in the dirt and scooped up there by Wheeler. We'll move the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes. So 4 runs came across in the last inning for Bear River. Hoping to put up a 0 here on the scoreboard. And that one gets right in between short and third for a nice base hit. A 1-out single for Colton Summers, who's had a nice day at the plate. That's 3 singles now for him on the day, 3 for 3. It'll bring up their designated hitter, Dagan Rigby, who's 0 for 2 on the day. He is struck out and hit a fly ball out to center. That one will just miss a little bit outside there for ball 1. Nice close ball game here on Spanish Fork 17. Just a 2-run lead for the Grizzlies over the Golden Eagles with a couple more innings here still to play. That one a bit low. It'll move the count to 2 balls and no strikes.
You know what? I like what they've done here, sticking with Max Walker. I just feel like he's had his ups and downs as any pitcher would, but he's been able to rebound pretty well out of them. Ooh.
Oh, that just misses the glove of Warren. A little bit of a bobble out there in center, but nothing doing, as that'll just be a nice seeing eye single there for Dagan Rigby, his first hit of the ball game. Now the Grizzlies able to string together 2 1-out hits here. In the fifth, runners on first and second, and it will bring up Brooks Drawlinger, who had a single in the second inning and then struck out in his last at bat in the fourth.
And over at first, they replace with a pinch runner. That's going to be Michael Sockeye. I might have just botched that, and I apologize if I did. Let's see,
Sanchez?
he's right here. Sanchez, Michael Sanchez.
Number 8, yep, Michael Sanchez. Again, he's going off of handwriting. I'm going off of nice type print on a computer. So give Coach T some grace here.
And not a knock on the handwriting.
Not a knock on the handwriting either. Yes,
it's loopy.
It's just kind of
just put it like
it's
that.
right on the lines too, and so that makes it a little bit even extra harder to read.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
I got you.
Appreciate that.
That one is pumped in there by Walker. I really thought that one was a strike.
I really did too. If anything, he's saying it missed outside.
He kind of made an indication in my brain that it was a strike too, but I guess it misses. Yeah, just a tick outside for ball one. That one will miss just by a little bit as well. So count moves to 2 balls and no strikes. Still one out here in the bottom of the fifth inning. Max Walker now through 4 1/3 for Maple Mountain, having allowed the 5 runs so far in the game. Runners on first and second. So Bear River certainly threatening here in inning number 5, trying to extend their lead back out to more than 2. That one is pumped in for a strike. That's a beautiful one there by Walker.
And they ask for time as they'll have a little mini mound meeting.
The mini mound meeting, Triple M.
Triple M, just like Triple T. Triple T,
yes.
Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. One of our awesome sponsors here at Spanish Fork 17.
Mm-hmm. So Sanchez at first, Summers at second. Drawlinger at the plate. Time is called.
This is a real standoff here.
It is, yeah. Count is 2-1, and a pitch up coming here from Walker. This one is slapped down into center field. An easy read here for Averett. Gets himself in nice throwing position and throws a nice one over to Bringhurst over to third to keep the runners at bay.
What an arm.
Yeah, it's an impressive arm.
We saw a little bit of it last game when he was on the mound, but honestly, I'm almost more impressed when he's in the outfield than when he's on the mound.
And again, he's throwing a long distance out there from center field, and I mean he's pretty much throwing a dot over there to Bringhurst. Like there was one that was a little bit high, but otherwise they've been just right there.
Mm-hmm.
Just impressive throws. This one sneaks into left field for a base hit. Nice job by Ferguson to collect that and get that in super quick. Great job there by the left fielder to keep it.
And
nice
I really thought Colton was going to round the corner coming from third. Just for a second, he tempted it, and it really heads up play by Coach over there to, hey, just back up. We'll get it. They're playing the long game here.
So base is now loaded after the single by Thomas Summers, which advances Colton Summers over to third. It puts Sanchez at second, and bases are loaded now for Isaac Bevan, who had a nice hit, had a single in the fourth, and ended up scoring as part of that 4-run fourth inning for Bear River. That one is high there by Walker for ball one.
Maybe he should have gone with the first 2 calls.
Maybe should. Yes, maybe should have.
Walker, you're pitching great. You're looking good. That one just a little high, though.
Yes, no worries. That one a beauty as it finds its way back into the strike zone there for strike one. I'll leave it up to count at 1-1. Again, bottom of the order here for Bear River. Holden Potter would be due up next here for the Grizzlies. Big opportunity here for Bear River to blow this game open, whereas for Maple Mountain, this is a good This is a really tense moment here. If Walker can get the out here and maintain the 0 on the scoreboard, that's going to be a big deal here going into the 6th inning. That one is in there for a strike. The count now 1-2.
You can hear the wind picking up a little bit more, still that same direction from the west in towards the east. And, yeah, it's starting to get a little chilly out in the field here.
I can definitely feel it in my fingers right now. 1-2. Slap down that first base line, and it will be foul. That one foul by probably about 2 feet or so.
Yeah, they had one earlier that worked for them, and this one works against them, but they just managed to stay in this inning.
Bevan will get himself resituated for another 1-2 count. Walker just needing one more strike here to get out of this bases loaded jam and turn this thing over to the top of the 6th. Another 1-2 offering.
Oh,
and it's going to be just a bit
there.
low is what I saw there from the umpire. Even up the count at 2-2.
Well, the saga continues. I really thought that snuck in there, but I'm up here, he's down there,
close, so. And you know, he's the paid professional for that specific thing, you know. So.
And I am not professional.
A little dribbler there to Walker. He'll send it on over to Chrisman, and that will end the inning. Walker able to get out of the bases loaded jam, helps himself out there by grabbing the ground ball. That will end the 5th inning. The score is 5-3. We will get you the 6th when we come back on Spanish Fork 17.
If you're looking for a workout, you know MVP Sports is the place to start, and that includes pickleball. MVP Sports has all you need to get active in this growing sport. Paddles, shoes, clothing, and the pickleballs. MVP Sports in Spanish Fork.
The best time to check your furnace is before it fails, and you can rely on Triple T to do the job right. Our technicians are trained every year so you can sleep better at night, knowing your furnace is safe to operate. Call Triple T at 798-7711 to schedule your tune-up today.
Welcome back to Spanish Fork 17, inning number 6 of this one between the Maple Mountain Golden Eagles and the Bear River Grizzlies. Again, this is the last game of the Dixie Sunshine Classic that either of our teams are going to be a part of. We got to enjoy the Kona Ice Classic yesterday and got to see the Dons play, and then today we've been over here at Flyer Field enjoying a couple ball games with the Golden Eagles. A nail-biter tough loss to the Dixie Flyers in their first game earlier today, and now another close one here against the Grizzlies. This one 5-3, a 2-run lead for the Grizzlies so far. Been a back and forth game. Both teams have had the lead and seen the other team take it over, and so it's been a nice back and forth game. A little bit of drama, a little bit of everything here, which is the type of game that I enjoy watching.
Yeah, without a doubt. I think it's been a roller coaster, but we wouldn't have it any other way. I think this is really just going to be a test of how the time wears down both of these teams. Like I said, it's been kind of it's just a 2-day weekend, but when you play 4 games in 2 days and you got a lot of tired arms, and most of the kids are just happy to be down here in warm St. George, and maybe some of them a little too happy as they spend time last night just enjoying the weather and enjoying the good times here in St. George. So yeah, I think it'll just be a test of kind of which team is kind of passes the test of endurance here.
Yeah, 2 more innings here potentially in this ball game. Again, the idea is that we're going to 7 innings if time allows. Each game has been given since the the extra inning extravaganza. They've been given a 2-hour and 10-minute limit on the game, and so here we are, and the Golden Eagles are down by 2, and they will be sending the bottom of the lineup up here in inning number 6. It will be Max Walker, Bennett Averett, and Colby Warren that will be up here for Maple Mountain. And we do have, let's see, that's number 20 on the mound for Bear River. So we do have a pitching change here for the Grizzlies.
Braxton, and once again, I'm reading off the. I'll just let you look it up on the computer.
We got this.
Starts with a B, though.
Braxton Gardner.
I was right there in between.
You were right.
Brock and Braxton and
So Broxton Gardner now in for the Grizzlies.
The fans sure showing him some appreciation over here.
Again, a solid outing for Easton Goodliff. 5 innings pitched and just allowing the 3 runs. Had done a pretty good job of limiting things. Honestly, just the 2 runs in that first inning and then another one in this past inning in the 5th. And so really solid outing for Goodliff. And now Gardner coming in to relieve him. And hopefully for Bear River, they're probably hoping that he's the last pitcher that they send out here in this ball game, as that one gets away from him. The count will move to 2-0 on Walker.
Well, not a promising start, but you can never judge a book by its cover.
Absolutely.
I mean, can throw 2 balls and then 30 strikes straight. So
yeah, certainly can happen.
Not likely, but it certainly can.
That one will just barely miss. The count will move to 3 balls and no strikes. Walker, Averett, and Warren up for the Golden Eagles, and then it would be back to the top of the order.
Even swing at this point, or just take the walk?
Usually, you're just gonna take the walk, and that's exactly what Walker does there. As Walker is now 1 for 2 on the day.
Oh, that might be the quickest mound meeting I've ever seen with a relief pitcher, but I think rightfully so. I mean, 4 balls straight, and they're just going to give him a second to cool his head a little and say, hey, there's a reason you're in. There's a reason you're in here as a reliever. And, you know, sometimes it's just a confidence thing, and for the coach to walk out there and just give a show of support. Obviously, he's not going to, you know, put him in and yank him right away. He's just going to go out there and express his confidence in this young player. So I think he'll turn around and probably turn it up from here on out.
Hang on, he didn't. The first 2 pitches were
down in the dirt.
They were down in the dirt, but
the third one, all the fans over here thought was
honestly was pretty stinking close. And so I mean, once he got through those first 2 pitches, I mean he was able to make it at least competitive with the final 2 pitches of the at bat. But again, a nice call there by Bear River to just go ahead and go talk to your guy, make sure that they know he knows that you have confidence in him, and then just say, hey, just kind of get the ball up a little bit, and you'll see some better results. And so leadoff walk here for Maple Mountain, and it will be Bennett Averett now up. He's 1 for 1 on the day. He took a walk in his first plate appearance and then roped a single in his last at bat in the 4th inning. Ended up getting stranded on 3rd, and he will take that first pitch for a ball.
Well, the dugout's coming alive over there.
Yeah, getting lively here in inning number 6.
I don't know if they realize that this, depending on the time constraint, could be their last inning as another one ends up in the dirt. It is 7 o'clock. The game started at, well, it was supposed to start at 4:30, but it started closer to
it ended up
4:50 maybe, 4:45.
Start time was technically 5:07, even though they really didn't truly get underway until about 5:10. And so, I mean, they're getting close, but they'll probably have enough time to most likely get to a 7th inning, as that one is in their first strike.
And that might be the pitch that changes the tide for him. You know, just a showing of confidence, saying, "Hey, I can do this." And he laced that one in there really nice against a hitter that's looked pretty good today.
The 2-1 is in the dirt. Nice job there by Averett to make sure that he knows that, tells his fellow runner to be like, hey, dude, hold up there first, not squeaking too far out there. So count now 3-1 on the Golden Eagles center fielder. Again, a nice game so far at the plate, as well as a stellar game out there in the field as well. The 3-1 will barely miss, and that will be the second walk issued to Bennett Averett.
It's just impossible to tell over here, because I really thought that one, I mean, I thought that one was pretty clear, but, you know, we're over here kind of, is it lateral? Is that the, yeah, lateral with the plate, with the home plate, so definitely not parallel. We are parallel. We're parallel looking into the home plate, so we can't see the horizontal movement of the balls across the plate if they're inside or outside. And makes it a little bit tough to judge or the jurisdiction from here.
So it does move Walker over to second base. So 2 straight walks issued here in this 6th inning, and the Golden Eagles certainly threatening here as going to be yet another quick visit here between pitcher and catcher just to talk things over. Nice view there of Colby Warren, number 9 hitter in the Golden Eagles lineup. He's 0 for 2 on the day, a strikeout and a pop-up. Up here in a big opportunity. He's a guy that has batted up in the upper parts of the lineup before. He's got some nice speed to him. Usually has batted number 2 when he's up in the upper part of the lineup. Shows bunt, pulls it back, and that one gets away. That'll be an easy advance over to second and to third base.
Now 2 runners in scoring position. This is exactly what Maple Mountain needed to get a little bit of life in them. And if they do score both these runs here, then I bet you, if it was a two-run disparity in the score, then the PA announcer or the umpires may have said, let's just go ahead and call it there based upon the time. But if it's a tied game, they should probably let them go the full 7 innings. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see what happens there. And again, don't want to put the cart in front of the horse. I don't know whatever way it is there, but
I've never heard that before.
No, another one of those phrases that it's
chin music. No, I've heard chin music.
No, at least you've heard of chin. Yes,
I've heard the car in front of the horse.
Yes, that thing, or don't count the chickens before they hatch, kind of thing.
Yeah.
There's the analogy. That one
Oh,
works.
I could see how car in front of the horse could mean the same thing. All right, it's all coming together now.
Yes. The 2-0 pulled back again, but that one is pumped in there for a strike. And Warren's got some nice speed to him, and so even though he's showing bunts as an opportunity to potentially sacrifice a run in, there's also a real opportunity here that he just burns enough that he would get the infield single. So he's going to opt the swing. It's going to be a high chopper that will be collected, and it'll be thrown on over to first for out number 1.
A lot of ground covered there by the third baseman, Holden Potter, but I think he just recognized it is going to be a little bit behind the head of the pitcher and Gardner, and just ran out there to make a stellar catch.
And it was just not quite enough up in the air on the chopper to confidently send the runners, and so I do also think that was a nice call there by the coaching staff to just go ahead and hold up the runners and maybe just see if Warren could potentially beat that out, as that one is high to A.J. Thomas.
Yeah, he was right there. Like you said, he's quick. The kid can move, but when you have to swing and then build your momentum over the top of the bat and try to take off, it's a lot more difficult.
Thomas has reached base twice today, 2 hit by pitches, then he flew out to center. So 0 for 1 on the day, but a productive day for him, as he has scored 2 of the 3 Golden Eagles runs. That one nice and tight. 2 balls and no strikes. Runners on second and third here for the Golden Eagles, with 1 out in the top of the 6th inning of a 5-3 ball game. The tying runs on the base.
I just took a look at the screen and thought, why is it so dark? I'm still wearing my sunglasses. It's been a long day. I'm maybe a little sun-fried.
He wears his sunglasses at night because he's just that cool.
'Cause I'm just that cool.
3 straight balls here to A.J. Thomas. Swings at that one and sends a cue shot. It'll be a fairly easy play there at home plate to get that second out of the inning. It does advance Averett over to third, and Thomas will be over there at first on the fielder's choice.
A lot of offensive production this inning, just haven't been able to capitalize on it.
So runners on the corners with 2 outs. It'll be Chase Johnston that will be coming up for the Golden Eagles, and he's a good bat to have up. He's got 2 singles in this one, 2 for 3 on the day, and then looming in the on-deck circle is Cy Chrisman. Should Chase Johnston find his way on, that is a potential opportunity for the Golden Eagles to really take a hold of this ball game. There's a mound visit here. I'm expecting most likely that we'll have a pitching change here, but we'll see what happens. Also a nice little powwow over there at third base with the base runners and hitter, and talking things over strategy-wise on offense as well. And it looks like they are going to
opt to stick with
they are going
Broxton.
to keep Gardner in the game here. And
What do you make of that call?
It's interesting. He's been a little bit erratic, and he has. I mean, he's obviously gotten 2 outs here, but with the situation, I mean, with it being the momentum for him is spinning forward in the sense of, I mean, a lot of the walks were at the beginning of the inning, and you just had an easy slow chopper hit there by Thomas. Yeah, have some confidence in your reliever and see what he can do, and then maybe at this point, if you see Johnston get on, then maybe you have a quick trigger here and make sure that you get in another guy to face Chrisman.
Well, good start after that mound man. The Wings went in there for a strike.
So 0-1 on Chase Johnston with runners on the corners. Big situation here in the top of the 6th inning, with the Golden Eagles only down by 2 runs, a little bit outside to even the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Johnston with 2 singles already in this game. A single would cut this lead down to 1. And Thomas will easily get his way over to second base, and now it puts 2 runners in scoring position.
Yeah, it's been a long time since we've seen somebody steal a base, so I think that he just took advantage of that kind of lull and everything, and maybe they forgot that, hey, that's even a part of the game that happens. So just a heads up play to get over there. And
Thomas always looks for any excuse to to snag a base. He's very aggressive on the base pass.
Yeah, if you got the wheels on you, you might as well.
The 2-1 to Johnston will be high and outside, so a nice count here with 3 balls and 1 strike. Can be a little bit more selective here and just see if he can find a pitch that he really likes. Nice lead over there at second base by Thomas. Averett at third. The 3-1 will be in there for a strike. A little bit of a late call on the strike, but we'll just catch that lower inside part of the plate, and it'll now be a full count to Johnston. Big long stare down there by Gardner. The payoff pitch well upstairs, and that is going to send Johnston over to first base. It will load the bases, and it will bring up the big bopper.
Well, this is a dangerous guy to have above the plate if, while the bases are loaded. So
yeah, bases loaded brings up Cy Chrisman, 3 for 4 in the last game, 2 for 3 in this one, and the out that he had was an absolute screamer out to left field, and so he's still seeing the ball incredibly well. And wow, what a situation for the big first baseman. Bases loaded, down 2, late in game. These are the kind of clutch situations that you dream up as a kid. First pitch to him is in there for a strike. Unfortunately for Chrisman, that might be the best pitch that he's going to see in this entire at bat.
A little foul up there as the pitch back to Gardner gets past him and heads out to second baseman Isaac Bevan, excuse me.
Yeah, Isaac Bevan. Yep. Happens to everybody.
It happens.
So an 0-1 count now on Chrisman after the, again, slight miscue getting the ball over to the pitcher. Big bases loaded situation. Time is called as Gardner really is being very, very methodical on the mound right now. So Chrisman opts for time to get himself reset. The 0-1 will be in the dirt, and that's a that's a saver there by Wheeler.
Yeah. By
not by
Summers?
Wheeler, Summers. Look, I'm trying to. Figuring out the catchers has been the hardest part of this game for me. That's just so sad.
Yeah, a good stop by Summers, and potentially that prevented a run from getting it.
That
probably
easily
did,
prevents a run. Crispin gets a little piece of that one. Move the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Averett at third, Thomas at second, Johnston at first.
Big moment here.
Count 1 and 2. Big Cy Crispin at the plate. Massive opportunity here for the Golden Eagles. A hit potentially ties this ball game.
Another stare down.
And yet another stare down that leads to a timeout. Crispin will dig back in.
You can just hear the good, bad, and ugly music.
And that one does get away from Summers. Averett will fly in, and he is down. Thomas is going to come in, too. My goodness, what a sequence. Thomas just absolutely just default aggressive there. Rounds third base and gets himself to score on the defensive miscue. And this ball game is all tied up.
Well, tied up with a huge opportunity here because this inning has gone extremely long, and if they do hold by what they said, and they're able to score right here, and then Maple Mountain's able to turn around and defend that score. I mean, this could be the winning run that we see in just a moment, so still a big moment.
So 2-run score on the pass ball, and Johnston, the potential winning run, sitting there at third base, and Crispin's going to get nicked on the elbow. And so it's now going to be runners at the corners with 2 outs here in this top of the 6th inning.
Now bring up Logan Bringhurst.
Yeah, Bringhurst has had a rough game here, 0 for 3. Lined out, hit into a double play, and has struck out. And this is the moment where I think Gardner's probably going to be coming out of the ball game. That's the hook for him. So an unfortunate inning there for Broxton Gardner.
Well, I mean, a lot of it just had to do with timing because he wasn't. I mean, he put a couple in dirt to start things off, but then you're just put up against maybe the best section of hitters.
Sure.
You had Averett out there, you had Cy Chrisman out there, so it's just really difficult section to get through as any pitcher.
So ends up issuing. I've got 2 walks down for him, a hit by pitch. Three walks and a hit by pitch. And then, just the unfortunate break there for him with the pass ball that gets far enough away from Summers that A.J. Thomas felt aggressive enough to make a run for it. And scoring 2 runs on a pass ball is certainly not something you can really plan for, as it'll be number 15 walking in to come in and replace Gardner. That is Thomas Summers. As it looks like they've swapped out their.
Yeah, so he's been playing catcher all game. Thomas has.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be interesting to see who they put behind the plate now. Yeah, I just can't see his number. I'm over here talking to myself, apparently.
Well, talk to our producer, Pete, who's like, well, it's the guy in the helmet. It's like, yeah, you are very correct.
Yeah, you're correct. I'm just trying to figure out who this guy is.
Who's the man behind the mask,
It's Zorro, obviously.
We're trying to figure out here, and just can't get a great view of what's going on there underneath. But I'm gonna look through here. I'm seeing number 12, Chipper.
I was just told by the fans right here in front of me, they said it's Chipper. What's his number? Haas. Is it as in Coach's Haas?
Haas, yeah. Kazan Haas. Number 10.
Kazan Haas.
Yes. Now we've got it all together with a little bit of help from our friends. We've got this thing situated. So it is Kazan Haas that has come in to catch, and then Thomas Summers on the mound here for the Grizzlies, coming in relief of Broxton Gardner. And again, a tie ball game here. 5-5. 2 runs coming across on the passed ball. Cy Crispin gets clipped on the elbow, so he is over at first base. And it is Johnston over there at third base, representing potentially the winning run here for Maple Mountain, at the very least the leading run. Should they be able to find a way to get a hit here from Logan Bringhurst.
Now we've seen Summers make a couple of pretty good throws. There were the 2 that kind of aired over the heads of the second baseman at the time, Bevan, who probably still out there at second base. So as long as he's, it's totally a different feel when you're popping up from behind the plate than from when you're throwing down on the mound. So it'll be interesting to see what he's able to make out of this situation. Yeah, it's hard as a pitcher to be put in with, the stakes so high.
Yeah, this is a rough one for any reliever to come in with it now, the ball game all tied up, and then potentially, a big run sitting over there at third base. And, oh, man, that to start things off
Not
with
the start you want.
Having Bringhurst also get hit by a pitch. Dang, that now loads the bases right back up here in this 6th inning. And it will bring up Nash Ferguson. Ferguson is 0 for 2 on the day. It looks like they've actually brought in a pinch hitter. It's number 28. Number 28. It's Catterson, Braden Catterson. Catterson, who had one of the big hits in the game against the Flyers. He hit an RBI double in the 7th inning of that game that ended up tying the ball game. So he is very accustomed to clutch situations, having just dealt with it earlier today.
Absolutely. He absolutely is, and we'd be amiss if we did not at least, he wasn't the MVP Sports MVP of the game, but he definitely did so much for the team in the first game, just kind of staying solid behind the plate, not really letting anything, maybe 2 or 3 balls past him the entire game. So he just did an excellent job back there.
So Catterson in to pinch hit for Ferguson in a bases loaded situation here in the top of the 6th inning. The ball game all tied up. And a ball that will be a tick low for ball 1 to Catterson. It is Johnston at third, Crispin at second, and Bringhurst at first. And that is actually pumped in there for strike 2. It looked like initially like he had kind of signaled that for a ball, but I'm looking at things. It looks like it is an 0-2 count to Catterson as time will be called. Been a few of those here in this inning.
Big moment.
It makes sense.
Been a lot of big moments this evening.
Again, yeah, it makes sense. They want to slow things down here a little bit. The pitch is going to be upstairs, and time will be called to talk things over. And now that I've said, hey, it's an 0-2 count, now the scoreboard says 2-1, which is what I would have said it was. But I just got to not second guess myself and know that I'm just correct.
So the count is
2-1. The count is 2-1. Catterson bloops this thing, and it is going to be caught by the second baseman. Didn't get quite enough on that one, as it will land into the second baseman's glove, and that will end the top of the 6th inning, as the Golden Eagles are able to tie this thing up with 2 runs. So the score is now 5-5 as we move on over to the bottom half of the 6th inning. It gives us an opportunity to thank our sponsors here at Spanish Fork 17. Coach T, take it away.
We'd like to thank Two Jack's Pizza, MVP Sports, Triple T Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, and Lance Wilson State Farm.
And thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in here today, whether you're on the channel or on our YouTube page, youtube.com/SpanishFork17. Make sure to click that subscribe button to join our Spanish Fork 17 family, get all the awesome content that we have, and be able to show some support and some love. So make sure to do that at youtube.com/ Spanish Fork 17, as we are seeing Colby Warren get warmed up here for the bottom half of the 6th. And there is our graphic there for the YouTube page. Again, we've got lots of great high school sports for Spanish Fork and for Maple Mountain on there. So if you're a baseball fan, basketball fan, football fan, heck, if you're a spike ball fan, there's some spike ball content on there. So go check it out at youtube.com/Spanish Fork 17. So Colby Warren comes in relief of Max Walker here in inning number 7. Warren has kind of been the de facto closer for the last couple years for the Golden Eagles and has done a fine job coming in. Again, normally plays kind of all over the diamond. They've had him at short, they've had him at second, and does a nice job basically wherever they put him on the diamond.
And the two of them will just switch places, so they send Max Walker over short and Warren on the mound. Feel like a broken record at this point.
For the apologies here. Let me get my scorecard all updated here. But for the Grizzlies, it's going to be the top of the order for them. It'll be Holden Potter, Talon Marble, and Garrick Marble. 1, 2, 3 in the order for the Grizzlies. And it's been a productive top of the order. 2 singles for Holden Potter. He scored 2 runs, and then a single for Talon Marble as well. So a couple guys that know how to get the ball in play. So it'll be a tall task here for Colby Warren as he'll deal with some of the more dangerous hitters in the lineup for the Grizzlies. And hoping to be able to keep it 5-5. And again, we are in the bottom half of the 6th inning, and there is certainly a chance that they go ahead and close the door here on this game after whatever happens here in the bottom of the 6th, just for time constraint purposes.
Now each game is at the start supposed to go all 7 innings, but this game started out with a really good pace, and then the pace just it seems like as it went on, the pace just slowed down and down and down.
That one is called a strike to Holden Potter.
Well, I say that, but Warren is coming out here with a pretty good pace.
Oh, Warren does nothing but throw heaters. He just comes in ready to fire every single time. That's just his MO, it feels like, is he's just like, I'm going to come at you. I'm going to come at you fast and furious. As that one is in the dirt for ball 2. That one is sent over to short. Walker makes the throw across, and it will be out number 1. Nice job there by Walker to collect himself and throw a strike across the diamond.
Absolutely. He knew exactly what he needed to do, and he kind of measured up the runner, and he had the opportunity to throw it at the first step, but just opted to take an extra 2 steps, get his feet underneath him a little more, and make sure that throw was right on the money, and it was.
So I actually said that was Max Walker. That's number 13, Sawyer Leifson, actually, over there at shortstop, as that's a big swing and miss there from Talon Marble for strike 1.
Well, I thought they moved Walker over there at
yeah,
no, you're absolutely
definitely
right.
Number
that is
13.
Leifson.
I will make a note of that here on my card, and now that's a dribbler over to Bringhurst, who makes a nice strong throw for out number 2. That's going to bring up Garrick Marble now for the Grizzlies. He is 0 for 2 on the day, a ground out and a line out, and he did get hit by a pitch in the 3rd inning. So quick work here in this bottom half of the 6th inning. It's been a nice change of pace here. As again, as you noted, Warren just working real fast here, and he's going to pump in strike 1 there to Marble. That one to tick high, so they'll even up the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Good lift in the on-deck circle for the Grizzlies. That one will be. Oh, notes that it actually ends up just nicking Marble there, so he will make his way over to first. So a 2-out hit by pitch.
He chose that he was going to first. He decided that he was going to first, but between you and me, I think he may have stepped into that one just a tiny bit.
Yeah, and there was certainly some discussion there. I think that was the reason for the talk there, and they actually are going to send him back. As the first base coach is like, nah, fam, I don't think that hit you. So that's
well, I mean, it definitely hit him, but
yeah, but it's
under what circumstance did it hit him?
Yeah. So first base coach says, I think you kind of stepped into that one, and so yeah, they'll send him back with the count. The count is let me make sure we got a 2-1 count now, as that would be counting as a ball. So 2-1 count on Garrett Marble. Yeah, there's a little bit of confusion and discussion as also the Bear River coach wants to talk things over and just make sure that everyone is on the same page as to what just happened there. So,
well, everything's going to level out, and here comes
and Warren's ready to go there, and the count moves to 3-1 as that one is just a little bit outside. The 3-1 to Marble is also going to be high, so he does find his way over to first base. Anyway.
Well, all roads lead to Rome.
They sure do, or at least they did, back in the old days.
All roads here lead to Vegas.
Certainly a lot of them do. That is certainly for sure. So 5-5 ball game here in the bottom of the 6th inning. 2 outs, runner on first for the Grizzlies. That one is high and tight to Goodliff for ball 1. Goodliff on the day is 1 for 3. Had a single in his first at bat, and then has lined out and hit a fly out. Second pitch in the dirt. Nice job to scoop that one up. Count will now be 2-0.
That was Wheeler, by the way.
That is Wheeler. I was, thinking about saying it, but, it's so mound visit here upcoming for Maple Mountain. They want to talk things over here with Warren, make sure that they know what they want to do approach-wise on Goodliff, and also, I think, talk some strategy over in terms of what they want to do to hold base runner as well. So just a good time here to talk things over. It looks like there's also going to be a little bit of conversation between Coach Thomas and the home umpire. And now it's actually going to be a full-on conference between the umpires as well, and they're kind of pointing over towards the third base fence. I'm kind of curious as to what this. Oh, it looks like Dixie is. There's somebody at Dixie is needing. Yeah, somebody's needing something from the infield umpire. And got that information relayed.
You know what? I know exactly what it is. They walked over there to tell him, hey, you got to turn off that bright light in the batting cages, which has been on for about the past.
Yeah, it has been
but
on.
It's, just the angle that light sits at, it's a super, super bright light, and it kind of cuts across the field. So maybe if maybe a pass coming over to the first base, that might interfere just a tiny bit. So
yeah, sure, that totally makes sense. The 2-0 is going to be high to Goodliff as he's got himself into a nice hitter's count here, 3-0. Garrick Marble at first after taking a walk. Gets himself a nice little lead over there. Warren does pump in a strike, so still an opportunity here to get the final out here in the bottom of the 6th. The count now 3-1 on Goodliff. The 3-1 is also in there. That is a nice pitch from Colby Warren.
Yeah,
count now full.
Love to see that.
Yeah, just perfectly clips.
And now we got some bats flying around the park here.
Oh, that's so fantastic. That one is going to be low, and he will issue yet another walk here. 2-out walks.
I mean, props to Warren for fighting his way back into that after having the 3-0 start and then getting 2 strikes on that and getting up to the full count. So he held his own, and just as long as he doesn't let that count kind of get out of hand in the first place, then he should be able to put this one away.
One of the hot bats in this lineup, Colton Summers, 3 singles on the day. The single would be potentially dangerous here for Maple Mountain, as it very well could score marble from second. Does a nice job of getting a first pitch strike. Nice job to get that one again. He's really hammered that lower outside part of the strike zone here in these last couple of bats. Strike 2.
The fans don't agree with that one, and I mean, they wouldn't be good fans if they did.
Exactly. Runners on first and second. Tie ball game here in the bottom of the 6th. 0-2 pitch up coming from Warren. And this is sent out into left field. The catch will be made out there, and that will be the end of the 6th inning. It will strand 2 runners, and Warren will find his way out of a little bit of a jam. It will keep things tied up here at 5-5.
Looks like they're going to go ahead and award them the umps are going to have the discussion.
Yeah, we're going to have the discussion here of whether we are going to be having another inning or not.
You got to give it to them.
We do see the Grizzlies running out onto the field. And I think we're going to have a quick discussion over there, and I think we're going to move forward here. So there is going to be a 7th inning of this one, and we will get it to you when we come back on Spanish Fork 17.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
Contact State Farm agent Lance Wilson today.
Hi, welcome to Two Jacks Pizza.
For the best pizza you'll ever taste and our world-famous cheese sticks, come to Two Jacks Pizza on Main Street in Spanish Fork, or call us for a quick delivery. Are you hungry yet?
Welcome back to Spanish Fork 17. We are in inning number 7 of this one between the Maple Mountain Golden Eagles and the Bear River Grizzlies. And we for a second there thought that was potentially going to be the end of the ball game, just because we are kind of right on the edge here of the time, but they opted to just go ahead and say, hey, let's finish up this ball game through 7. And it looks like they may even still be having a little bit of further discussion. I think this is more just there has been some changes made, and so they just want to make sure that I think they've got some potential defensive changes that have been made out there for the Grizzlies. And then do want to note, of course, that because we are technically over time here, they are going to opt to put runners on in the inning here. So we do have a Golden Eagle out there at second base to start off the inning here. That is 32? It was number 32. It's Caden Giles.
We saw Giles. Was he over at a shortstop or left field?
No, he was over in right field. And he came in and pitched towards the end of the last game.
Yeah, Giles was a key component in the game earlier against the Flyers. Has not been a big part of this particular game, but he comes in to run, and it is going to be Cole Erickson that starts things off here in the 7th inning for the Golden Eagles. It'll be Erickson, and then
the umps can't figure out what exactly they're going to do here.
Yeah, again, this is a moment where I was about to say Dixie came out to say, hey, like, I don't know what's going on here. And it looks like we are. Yeah, he kind of made the indication of, I don't know quite what's happening here, but looks like we are.
Yeah, let's go ahead and play some ball
here. It's like, let's play ball. If we're going to play ball, let's do it, folks. Like,
well, you'd be hard pressed to get Bear River off the field at this point. They're all out there. They're rooted at this point, and they just want to go ahead and play. So
yeah, exactly. So it's like, look, like, yeah, we opted to go for the inning, so we're going for it here. So we've got a 7th inning of ball here for you on Spanish Fork 17, and it is going to start off with Cole Erickson. He'll show bunt. It will get past the catcher, and he will find his way on over to third. So the potential winning run just 90 feet away now.
Maybe this is what the conversation was about, because the batting cage lights just came back on.
Ah, that's,
and you hear the fans yelling about this, and the umpire calls for stoppage time.
It is. Absolutely is what it is. There's definitely a lot of pointing and indication. There they go. And
you can see them on the screen. They're
bright.
Now
I've seen it. It's like terribly distracting.
Yeah, absolutely. You might as well have a clown over there on a 14-foot unicycle with a ball on his nose.
Yeah. All sorts of distracting there.
I mentioned the polka dot suit.
I mean, he's probably honking horns and making noises too.
Right.
So I mean,
he has to be.
I totally get it. The 1-0 to Erickson. It's going to be in there for a strike. So 1 ball and 1 strike on the Golden Eagles second baseman. They did opt to keep Thomas Summers in after coming in relief. Did get the final out of that last inning, so he returns back to the mound here for the Grizzlies. The 1-1 is also in there. That's a great pitch from Summers.
It's looking good so far.
Count now 1-2 on Erickson. So it is Walker in the on-deck circle, and then he would be followed by Bennett Averett. That one just a little bit high, so I'll even up the count at 2-2. Runner at third for the Golden Eagles represents the potential winning run for them. Help them take the lead here in inning number 7. The 2-2 from Summers is sent out into shallow right center, and it will be down for a base hit. And that is going to score the run from third, as Giles will march on in. It'll be an RBI single for Cole Erickson as the Golden Eagles retake the lead here in inning number 7.
Sweet? That's a soccer reference, right?
Yeah. Interesting.
Okay.
Do what you do. Do what you do, Golden Eagles. It's a fun time. So
it is. Whenever
you take the lead, I'll allow whatever you want to say within reason. So score is now 6-5 after the RBI single by Cole Erickson. Brings up Max Walker now for Maple Mountain. Walker on the day is 1 for 2 with a single and a walk. Shows bunt, pulls back, and it will be a called strike.
Ooh. Looked a little outside from here, but again, a lot of things looked a lot of ways from up here. So
yes, there's been some stretching from what we see of the strike zone every now and then in different directions, and so is what is. 0-1 count here to Walker with Erickson over there at first. And Walker's going to lace one right down the line. It will be just foul. Oh goodness! Line shot that. Just about a foot off. It'll be a loud foul ball instead with the count 0-2 now.
Well, the cold front has set in rather quickly now, and it's starting to get nippy out here.
It is. Thankfully, right now, there's not like a ton of wind, but definitely can feel that the sun is fully gone here in St. George, Utah, and can feel the little tingles in the fingers for sure. 0-2 count here to Walker. Bennett Averett on deck, who's had a nice day at the plate. An opportunity here for the Golden Eagles to extend their newfound lead. It'll be a ball delivered there to Walker, so the count now 1 ball and 2 strikes. It's been a lot of fun down here in St. George over the weekend. 2 games with the Spanish Fork Dons, now 2 games here with the Maple Mountain Golden Eagles. Both teams getting all set and ready for region play coming up here at the end of the month. Maple Mountain will be back down here in St. George next weekend. They'll be playing in a tournament over at Desert Hills High School. Erickson showed that he was going to be up and running and then makes his way back over to first base.
It's the right call.
Yeah, definitely felt like the right call. The count now 2-2 on Max Walker.
I mean, Erickson's quick, but he is not that quick. I don't think he had quite the lead off he would have needed to get over there.
Yeah, needed just a little bit more breathing room. So 2-2 count here on Walker. The pitch up coming from Summers. Will be in the dirt, and
this time he will go for it.
This time he does go for it. He will get down and will be safe.
Now, if that pitch was brought down just about a foot more, or maybe a foot and a half more, that could have been a whole different story.
It really could have been.
Or sorry, that throw.
Yeah, the throw. Yes.
Throw
it was pretty. Again, it was pretty close, and also, he doesn't even run if the pitch was also just a tick up, and so it was just because it was kind of stuck in the ground that Erickson was like, oh, I can go, and so
I guess
gets his way into scoring position.
Right both times.
Yes, yeah. It just depends on your vantage point, what specific thing we're talking about. And that is an absolute bender. Oh my gosh, that thing just finds its way back into the strike zone for strike 3.
Well, so far only one out, though, so still a bit of breathing room with a 1-point lead.
Yep, runner in scoring position with one out in the top of the 7th inning. One run already across here for the Golden Eagles to give them a 6-5 lead, and it brings up Bennett Averett, who is 1 for 1 on the day, has reached base all 3 times he's been up, so he's taken 2 walks along with that single. Nice opportunity here for the Golden Eagles center fielder.
And there he is again. That's a balk. 3 famous words.
And
hey, maybe you're right all along, and every single one of these has been a balk. Who the heck knows?
Maybe it is, or sometimes they see the slightest bit of movement and just assume that obviously means it's a balk. So
he's calling for time, stepping out of the box, and then he steps off the plate. So that's not a balk.
That's not. It's perfectly legal, and so it is what is. But some people see things as they see things. So the count here is 0-1 on Bennett Averett. He's going to take a nice healthy cut, get a little piece of it. Foul tips it for strike 2. Summers kind of just laboring through this thing, has 1 out, got the strikeout of Walker after giving up the RBI single to Cole Erickson. Bennett Averett up with a count at 0-2, and Colby Warren due up next for the Golden Eagles. The scoreboard over is just showing 3 balls and 2 strikes at this point ad nauseum. So I don't know if they're keeping track of things anymore, as that one will also miss and move the count to, they say also miss, but that's the first one of this 1-2 on Averett.
I'm not sure what the PA announcer just said.
Yeah, he just said
out.
now or out, and so I'm not quite sure. There we go. Looks like they're starting to get things more lined up, and now the count is 1-2. Showing officially over there on the scoreboard. Big swing there from Averett, a little bit in front of it, and that will be out number 2 in the inning. 2 straight strikeouts here for Thomas Summers. Still an opportunity here for the Golden Eagles to extend their lead, though, as Colby Warren will stride in here in the top of the 7th. 0 for 3 on the day, a strikeout, a pop-up, and a ground out.
We're starting to see a lot of bats fly through the field here. I've seen 3 so far.
Dang, that's pretty impressive.
I mean, we've all seen this infamous video where the seagull got hit by the fastball, and pretty soon we're going to see the new one where all of a sudden a poof of leather goes up in the air.
Yeah, that'd be a super fun time. I've seen plenty of videos of, bats in, basketball arenas. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you have the famous one of Manu Ginobili, swatting the bat, and then
he caught it.
Yeah, caught it. And then fairly recently, there was a bat over at Kansas in the Kansas BYU women's game, which was also a real fun time. First pitch to Warren is in there for a strike.
Well, Summers does not disappoint. He's looked really good up there on the mound.
Yeah, he's done a nice job in relief here, and again allowed the RBI single, but again, starting off with the runner at second base.
Yeah, he allowed that,
but
he was put in a very precarious situation right when they put him into relief. Yeah,
yes.
So he was able to defend that position from the mound, and then obviously, did allow the RBI single, but since then he's just looked really strong.
It's been a solid outing for him. Again, discussion between Summers and catcher, talking things over. Again, that is Haas now catching with Summers now on the mound.
The catcher-to-catcher connection.
Catcher-to-catcher. They understand. Yes. Basically, mind meld moments there.
Was that an Avatar thing?
Mind meld.
The blue avatars, they.
There's
anyway,
that. Yeah, sure.
I'll
yes.
let it go.
Yes, that's fine. That works. Erickson at second with a nice lead over there, and nice strike there to move the count now to 0-2 on Warren. A.J. Thomas in the on-deck circle for the Golden Eagles should Warren find his way on base. In a hole here at 0-2. 1-run lead for the Golden Eagles over the Grizzlies here on Spanish Fork 17. And in the top of the 7th. He steps off the mound to chase Erickson back over to second base. Will reset things, and Warren will dig back in. Erickson will now take an even more generous lead over at second base.
Here comes the stare down.
The 0-2 is sent out into center field. Not a lot of movement out there needed, though, as the play will be made, and that will be out number
Summers,
3.
Right?
Summers making the catch out there.
The other Summers.
The
Colton
other Summers. I could probably say Summers, and for the most part, Summers or Marble, and at least get a decent chunk of it correct. So
yeah, well, you have a just about 1 in 2 chance of getting the name right if you say Summers or Marbles, or a combo of both. I guess 1 in 4 if you say one or the other.
Feels pretty solid. So Maple Mountain does retake the lead 6-5. Going into the bottom half of the 7th inning, gives us an opportunity to thank our sponsors here at Spanish Fork 17. That's 2 Jack's Pizza, Triple T Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, Lance Wilson State Farm, and MVP Sports. And we want to give one last shout out to our good friends
Mercedes over at the Fellas Chop Shop.
Please go check them out. Go get a nice haircut from Mercedes and crew, and tell her that Pete sent you, and that it would be super duper, super special awesome if they would more fully consider being a partner, a sponsor here with us at Spanish Fork 17. So let's have a little we scratch your back, you scratch ours moment, and go get a nice haircut from them. They do a fantastic job over there at the Fellas Chop Shop. And also just mention to Mercedes, hey, might be a really cool opportunity for your crew to, sponsor Spanish Fork 17.
Yeah, just see if you can find a natural way to slide that into the conversation. You're sitting over there talking about the Utah Jazz or BYU basketball, and then, oh, hey, by the way.
Also
here's a nice lead into Spanish Fork 17.
Was checking out, a couple of the ball games down in St. George this weekend was really awesome, and they happened to mention you guys and said that this would be really cool. So there
you go. You're a natural conversationalist, Andrew.
What can I say?
And you need a haircut. So,
and I do need the haircut. It is definitely that time. I wanted to get it done before coming down here, but just did not find the time. So is what is. So maybe I need to go. Make a stop over at the Fellas Chop Shop. You're now into the bottom of the 7th inning. Warren back on the mound for the Golden Eagles. It will be the big designated hitter, Dagan Rigby, up, and a pass ball will allow their runner to get over to third base. And so now they've got the tying run over there at third.
Is that Catterson behind the mound now? They make that change?
I
want to say it is. I just saw his back, and I could have sworn it was 28. Let's see.
Yeah, that one is in there for a strike. That is Catterson, yeah. So they have brought in Catterson to catch here. That makes sense, as he's kind of the main catcher for this Maple Mountain team. So count now 1-1 on Rigby. And he's going to send one out to center field. Averett will back up, will make the play, and that is a pretty easy sacrifice fly. But wow, what a throw. Like, throw enough that he threw himself onto the ground and made it all the way to the pitcher. So, I mean, still an impressive throw. But, yeah, that was definitely hit well deep enough for that to be a pretty easy sacrifice fly.
Yeah, not a lot you can do there, even with the cannon of an arm like he has. I'm surprised. I'm not sure why they didn't make the call to let it get past the pitcher.
Yeah, just give it an opportunity, you know, like just see what happens.
It may not happen, but you don't have anybody running the bases, so there's no danger to it.
Drawlinger fouls one away, just kind of right by a couple of girls standing around watching the game here. So it'll be a 0-1 count now on Drawlinger, who's 1 for 3 on the day, a single to his name and a strikeout and a flyout. Scoots away from that one, hits the dirt. It'll even up the count at 1-1. Six ball game in the bottom of the 7th inning. Big swing there from Drawlinger for strike 2. So 1-2 counts on the Grizzlies left fielder. He'll try to check his swing, and they'll look to the home plate umpire. He says that he swung. He appeals over to first, who does in fact confirm that was a pretty easy call there on the swing on Drawlinger. That'll be out number 2 in the inning.
A heads-up play by Catterson there. I mean, everyone just kind of froze. Everyone didn't know what to do, and then he came over and made the tag. So
getting some fun jeers from the Grizzlies fans who just, you know, commented the fact that we are filming this game and saying, hey, you could go see the film on Spanish Fork 17 to confirm that call.
Well, I won't give
kind of
it
fun
up.
time, but won't be able to necessarily cue that up immediately. But you know, if they want to go back in and watch the replay, I'm more than happy to have them do that.
After the fact.
After the fact, yes.
And I promise you can show the replay, but the ump is not going to change his mind. If anything, he's going to say, hey,
change the call,
you're out of here, buddy.
Yes. No, can't exactly change history in that way. So the count now moves to 2-0 as that ball goes into the dirt by Warren.
And not only did the home plate umpire, Darryl Rogers, make the call, but he also appealed over to Kyle Anderson, and Kyle Anderson confirmed the call, so I don't think there was more redundancies they could have taken in that situation. Yeah,
they pretty much did all of the confirmations that you could possibly do, as that one just clips the lower end of the strike zone for strike 1, so now a 2-1 count on Thomas Summers. Summers on the day is 1 for 2, struck out in his first at bat, took a walk in his second plate appearance, and then hit a single in the 5th inning. So he's had a pretty decent day at the plate, and came in relief here and did a nice job on the mound, holding up the hand to make sure he gets the time to get set. Warren fires one in there, and it gets sent right up the middle. That's a beautiful base hit there from Thomas Summers. Ball will get in pretty quick there from Averett, but a nice 2-out single to keep things alive here for the Grizzlies. And it will bring up Isaac Bevan now, their second baseman, who had a nice hit in the 4th inning. Otherwise is 1 for 3 on the day.
The Grizzlies are going to bring in their favorite pinch runner. They used him earlier on in the game, and that's Jackson. I'm getting his name right now, right? Number 9, Jackson.
Number 9,
with
Jackson.
it
Yes, Jackson Barfus. That one is fouled away by Bevan. So it'll be an 0-1. So Barfus came in earlier in the game to run for Summers. That's kind of been the main guy on the base pass, switching out for Summers, who was on catching duty and now on pitching duty. The 0-1 will miss inside, even up the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th inning of a very fun ball game between the Grizzlies and the Golden Eagles here on Spanish Fork 17. The Grizzlies still with an opportunity to win this ball game, the winning run over there at first base. throw over to first, nothing doing.
Well, just another good display of Chrism over there. Chrisman. He's just, well, first off, he's a big target.
He is a big target.
He's kind of hard to miss over there, so. But he fields well, but in a different way. You know, he's able to reach out and make the difficult snags, and when it counts, and just a good display of that right there. He's not able to get the tag, but able to drag it down there just behind time.
The 1-1 to Bevan goes high. Oh, the 2-1 to Bevan goes high. I'll move the count to 3-1 on the Grizzlies' second baseman. So again, runner on first is the potential game-winning run here for Bear River. Warren hoping to get that final out and get out of this inning. Another one is fouled away out into the grass over here by that first base fence.
That's an interesting one to swing at. I think if he would have let it go, it would have been high and inside, but nonetheless, he gets a piece of it and is able to foul it out there.
Yeah, at least was able to punch it away and keep himself going here. And that one is just a tick low, and that will send him on over to first. So a 2-out walk issued to Isaac Bevan after the 2-out single by Thomas Summers. And now the top of the order back up for Bear River. It'll be Holden Potter, who is 2 for 4 on the day with a double and a single. And then he's lined out and ground out on the day. Has scored 2 of the 6 Grizzlies runs, so a really productive day for the leadoff hitter. That's a nice pitch there from Warren to establish the strike zone, strike 1. So Barfus moving over to second base, now in scoring position. Chopped down that third base line, but foul.
Well, he could put it away right now.
Yep, a good single here would probably win the ball game here for Bear River.
And Warren has the opportunity to finish it off with a tie, which would leave Maple Mountain with a record of
1-2-1.
Yeah.
Not what you come into a tournament thinking that you're going to get. Is that one is going to be a dribbler over to Bringhurst, who makes the throw across the diamond, and that will be the end of the 7th inning, as Warren is able to shut the door and to keep any more runs from scoring for Bear River. And we'll have a quick moment here just to, again, check in to make sure that we know what we're doing in terms of whether this ball game is going to keep on rolling.
Bear River's taking
Bear
the
River
field.
Is just like running out there ready to go.
They don't want this game to end.
They certainly don't, and so I think we're rolling on forward once again. But again, I just want to just make sure here before we jump over to break, as a little discussion between the umpire and I'm not seeing any obvious stoppage here. So we're going to go ahead and run our break here, and we'll get you inning number 8 when we come back on Spanish Fork 17.
If you're looking for a workout, you know MVP Sports is the place to start, and that includes pickleball. MVP Sports has all you need to get active in this growing sport: paddles, shoes, clothing, and the pickleballs. MVP Sports in Spanish Fork.
The best time to check your furnace is before it fails, and you can rely on Triple T to do the job right. Our technicians are trained every year so you can sleep better at night, knowing your furnace is safe to operate. Call Triple T at 798-7711 to schedule your tune-up today.
Welcome back to Spanish Fork 17. Extra innings once again for the Golden Eagles. We had a 11-inning marathon against the Flyers, and now we've got an 8-inning game here against the Bear River Grizzlies. And oh my goodness, it's just been a roller coaster of a game as both teams score 1 run in the 7th inning. And once again, they do have runners on second base as part of the extra innings rules. And so runner on second, and that's Colby Warren over there at second base, and A.J. Thomas at the plate for the Golden Eagles. He'll take the first pitch for a strike. A.J. Thomas, Chase Johnston, and Cy Crispin due up here in inning number 8 for Maple Mountain. So top of the order, certainly some guys that have already produced here in this ball game and really got them to the place where they've gone to extra innings here. The 0-1 upcoming from Summers, and the time is called, and I'm waiting for it, and there it is. There's the "that's a balk" guy out in the crowd.
You knew it was coming.
Knew it was coming, but I just needed.
I really
needed
wonder
confirmation.
if he's saying it as a joke. It really just has to be.
It
Hey, by the
way,
you're 0 for 15, so maybe just give up.
Well, you can't call them every. That's just kind of the boy who cried wolf at that point,
I think all of his family and friends have made a big circle around him.
That one skips off of the catcher, and that'll be an easy move on over to third base for Colby Warren. It'll also move the count to 1-1, and yes, keep them close, keep them safe. Just be like, okay, it's okay. Not everything is a balk.
Right, not everything's a balk. I mean, if it were me, I'd say, I don't know this guy. Who's he? Oh, he's the "that's a balk" guy.
That one in the dirt, so another ball thrown there by Summers. The count will move to 2 balls and 1 strike.
2 kind of stray pitches to open up the inning here.
A.J. Thomas will dig back in on the 2-1 count with big run potentially sitting over there at third base. Thomas takes a nice big swing at that one, a little bit on top of that one for strike 2. And Maple Mountain just doesn't seem to know how to do anything but blow teams out or play close, I guess.
Well, yeah, they haven't taken a huge loss yet, have they?
No, they sure haven't.
It's been a very productive weekend for them down here as that one goes outside.
It really has. It's been a nice one here for Coach Thomas and for the staff just to see some guys and to see some offensive potential. Again, they absolutely just blew the doors open against Payson, and they've had some nice pitching performances. Chase Johnston looked really solid. Bennett Averitt looked pretty solid in the earlier game today. So they've seen a nice little mix of everything, some components that you can see being key factors for them later on in the season. Hopefully give them some nice success going into region play. Thomas is going to pop this thing up, and it will get up and out of play. And it's going to roll on down the net back behind us.
Rolling down through the net.
Rolling down up and through. Count stays full here on A.J. Thomas. And Colby Warren over there at third, representing the lead run here for Maple Mountain. You'll hopefully be able to take the lead here in
Thomas
the top of the 8th inning.
His stance quite
he has.
a bit here.
The 3-2
so are we
from
pitch?
Summers.
No.
It's going to be in the dirt. And that will send Thomas on over to first base.
I don't think he realized it was the 3-2.
No, he didn't. He was not very quick to take his equipment off, and so eventually I think the home plate umpire was like, yeah, that's ball 4.
Or maybe he was just so astounded that he didn't get to take another swing at it as his way outside in the dirt.
Yes, it's just like, and then finally makes his way over. But either way, it's a walk issued there by Summers, and it'll put runners on the corners here with no outs in the top of the 8th inning, and it'll bring up Chase Johnston, who's had a nice day at the plate, 2 for 3, had 2 singles early in the game, and he did take a walk as well in the 6th. So nice productive day for the number 2 hitter in the Golden Eagles lineup. He'll watch ball 1 go high.
They called that a strike.
They
called that a strike. It looked high. It looked like over his shoulders.
I'm
thinking the same thing you're thinking, but they definitely called that a strike.
I didn't see any indication from the umpire that it was a strike, but the scoreboard certainly says.
It was late.
I tire of late calls, as A.J. Thomas is going to be caught in a pickle here. And it does get the run home. A.J. Thomas does just enough to distract the guys, to make them forget about Colby Warren over there at third base, and he's going to score. And A.J. Thomas is also going to make his way over to second base.
Usually you wouldn't have to deal with Warren. It's just weird, with this extra inning rule, having a runner start over on second base. So like you said, I think they just kind of forgot about him, and by the time everyone called home, it was too late.
Yeah, so nice job by A.J. Thomas to force the pickle situation, and it brings Colby Warren home from third and also gets him over to second base. So he's in scoring position. And now we've got an 0-1 count once again here for Chase Johnston. And time is called. And there it is again. That's a balk. I can set my clock to that, and it's just reassuring.
That'd wake you up. That'd wake you up for sure. Set your alarm with the "that's a bog" sound, and you'd come hopping right out of bed.
Absolutely, yes.
Where am I? What happened? What's going on?
The 0-1 is going to be low there to Chase Johnson, so it will even up the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. And smart play over there by A.J. Thomas to force the pickle, score the run from third, and get himself over to second base. The score,
he's quick.
7-6. He is quick.
He's dangerous when he's on base. If he gets on base, and he does a pretty dang good job of getting on base. He does. He's
why he bats leadoff. Yes, he certainly knows how to get on base and do damage when he's there.
You can see him over there playing the mental games as another one comes in low and maybe a little bit outside.
Count will move to 2-1 after that particular pitch. Yeah, it's fun to watch him on the base pass. He knows how to play the mental game when he's on the bases.
Summers can't stop thinking about it.
Yeah, he's just looking. He's been looking right back over there for a good portion of this at bat with Johnston. And he shows that he's going, and Johnston's going to put a charge in this one out into right field, and Thomas will tag up and make his way over to third. So a productive out for Chase Johnston as he flies one out to right field and advances Thomas over to third. So now just a hop and a skip away from getting a second run here in this inning. And brings up a guy who can hit it a country mile in Cy Chrisman.
Yeah, he's hit a little bit of a lull in his hitting, but I mean, he definitely had a strong outing last game and started out this game good.
Oh, I mean, he's still 2 for 3. I mean, it's just the fact that he didn't get to swing the bat really in the last at bat because he got hit by a pitch.
And they're going to opt to walk him here.
Yeah, they know that he's dangerous, and so they send him on over to first base. And it does create a force out, of course, over there at second as well. It gives them opportunity to turn 2 and potentially get out of this inning. And so it just kind of makes sense to get the guy that's hit some bombs out to the outfield and just go ahead and send him over to first base and not create an opportunity for an easy sacrifice fly. I get the strategy.
I do remember he did have that little blue in the right field just past the end zone.
He did, yes. Bringhurst will line one down that first base line, but foul. Bringhurst is 0 for 3 on the day. Line out, grounded into a double play, and struck out. He also got hit by a pitch in the 6th inning. Somewhat calm day at the plate for the Golden Eagles cleanup hitter, but a big situation for him here with runners on the corners and 1 out and a 1-run lead. Would love to get another insurance run if at all possible. The ball gets away.
It
actually looks like it ended up,
maybe in the hill somewhere.
I
didn't see it, but
honestly thought that was a pretty easy pass ball, and that was going to be an easy one for Thomas to score on, but I guess it clips Bringhurst, and so he gets hit by a pitch for the second time in this ball game, and is now going to load the bases up here in the top of the 8th inning, and it's going to bring up Catterson. And Catterson came in to pinch hit for Ferguson in the last inning, and then stayed in the game at catcher. And again, not unaccustomed to the clutch situations. Again, had a big hit in the Dixie game earlier today that tied the ball game up late in the 7th. So another opportunity here in the clutch with the bases loaded. An opportunity for 1 or 2 runs on a nice hit. Catterson will watch the first pitch for a strike. Thomas at third, Chrisman at second. Bringhurst over there at first base, and Catterson at the plate for Maple Mountain. An 0-1 count right now.
You really want to get another run in, because with the way that they're setting up the innings now, starting a runner over on second, it's almost a shoo-in to get that runner in. You know, it's just such a big advantage with 0 outs on the board. So if you get another one in, then you kind of have the insurance where, yeah, that runner may score, but as long as you don't allow another run past you, then maybe they can finish the game with a win.
Yeah, you really do need to get more than 1 run in an inning in extra innings, because it just almost is, as you said there, Coach T, it's almost a foregone conclusion that that guy over at second is most likely going to score. Just you can get some productive outs that's going to get him in a place where he's at least at third base with a decent scoring opportunity, as that's going to be strike 3. It just clips that kind of upper portion and outside part of the strike zone, as Catterson certainly didn't love that particular call, but is what is, and that's going to be out number 2 here in the inning, and it will bring up Cole Erickson.
Catterson's going to take the slow walk back. I think he just needs to be a little bit more deliberate. You know, he's maybe just waiting for the perfect pitch, and he probably got that with the first pitch that came through there, that curveball right through the middle of the strike zone. But you know, no shame in that.
No, not at all.
He'll be hard on himself, but nobody's going to be hard on him. He's still an excellent player, and they still have the opportunity to get up big here.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, still 2 outs, and they do have the lead, but a nice potential hit here from Erickson gets them in a nice place, and so nothing doing there as that first pitch goes outside for ball 1. Erickson with an RBI single in the 7th that kind of kept this ball game rolling, and so certainly up in a similar situation to what he was in the previous inning.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's always a dangerous situation with Thomas over there on third base. He's so quick that if anything gets past Summers there over behind the base, then he's going to be in there quicker than you can snap.
Mm-hmm. Ball goes low there, so we'll move the count now to 2 balls and no strikes.
I said Summers. Let me, excuse me. It's Hawes behind the plate now.
Oh, what, Coach T? You mixed up the catchers?
I made a blunder. All right. I'll stop giving you grief now.
All good. It's late in the game. Everybody be making blunders.
I can no longer make fun of you, but it's fun while it lasted.
And that one up near his face for ball 3.
Chin music.
Yeah. You getting it?
I'm catching on. If you haven't been with us all week, and that's been an ongoing term that I've just tried to understand.
So chin music for you folks out there is a pitch that's high and tight right up at the chin, hence chin music, as it buzzes right by their chin, and supposed to back them off the plate a little bit. So a 3-0 count, and shows bunt, and it misses, and so they're going to end up walking in a run here with the bases loaded. So Thomas will make the walk over home, and Chrisman over to third.
You take it how you can get it, and that's the insurance that I was talking about. And like I said, this is kind of just a game where it'll be the test of endurance, really. Whatever team can kind of hang on the longest and just prove that they're not as tired as the other team and still play sharp, even at the bottom of a very long week, in the 9th inning of the weekend, so to speak.
Yeah, truly a war of attrition here as we are in this 8th inning, and that's 19 innings of gameplay for these Golden Eagles, and that's going to be even more insurance runs, as that's a beautiful single there by Max Walker. It's going to score 1, 2, three guys as the ball gets well away from any Grizzly defender, and that is a huge hit there for Max Walker.
Well,
and just an unfortunate break there with the ball just
yeah,
kind of bouncing
exactly.
all over the place.
Say, the hit didn't look like anything special, and all of a sudden it took that very unlucky hop, and there's just so much airtime underneath after that hop, and then another little blunder, a little error, I guess you could call it, as they threw it into third baseman Holden Potter as it kind of sailed over his head, hit the left field wall, and they were able to bring in another run.
Yeah, that's a tough break there for the Grizzlies, but a huge boon for the Golden Eagles, as now they've really blown this thing open. It's now 11-6 after the bases clearing hit there by Max Walker. And again, finding his way over to third base as part of the weirdness there with the errors, as that one is fouled away by Bennett Averett, and he'll now be looking at an 0-2 count.
Now, the last game, what did we watch the score get to before they just went ahead and called it early? Oh, was that the last game or the one before? Just as we started today?
Yeah, just as we started, yeah.
So that wasn't the Golden Eagles earlier. The game just before them, we watched an interesting situation where the lead
Box Elder in Springville.
Box Elder in Springville, where the lead kind of got out of hand and they just decided to go ahead. But I don't think it was a mercy rule type lead. It was just about, if I remember, I want to say about 8 points. And we're starting to kind of get into that realm now. You know, there's a 5-point lead, which doesn't sound significant, but where this game has kind of just carried on for so long into the next game. And the next game, that probably should have started around 7. And
yes.
What time is it now? Yeah, almost 8:20. So we'll see what the umps decide to call
Maple
here.
Mountain's just basically been the thorn in the side of scheduling here for today, as they've been part of the two crazy games.
Oh, yeah. The one game that went probably close to 2 hours longer than it should have. They almost played an extra game on top of the original game.
Yeah, I mean, you play 11 innings, and yeah, the time definitely adds up. And what's crazy is it was trending actually towards being a super quick game, and then all of a sudden it goes to goes a little bit longer in those last few innings. It goes to extras, and Bennett Averett fouls that one away to keep things alive here at a 2-2 count. But yeah, it's just wow, just a marathon of a day here for the Golden Eagles. Again, 19 innings of baseball played here today.
2-2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. TTT.
Yeah, I love
just
that.
Like triple T.
Let's go.
A triple T.
Yes.
TTT. We got our 2 Jacks doubles and the triple T 2-2-2.
Yep, just sneaking in all the sponsors whenever we can.
Well, we try to, which is exactly what we'd do if the fellas chop
That's
shop
right.
would
That's
go
right.
ahead and make that connection over here. We don't find ways to sneak
let's
in.
Go. Love it, love it, love it. Full count here to Bennett Averett. He's going to watch one go in the dirt, and there's another run going to be scored there. Nice opportunistic job there by Max Walker to rumble his way on in on the pass ball, and Bennett Averett will keep things alive here as he'll be over there at first base, and it will bring up Colby Warren for the Golden Eagles. 0 for 4 on the day, a strikeout, a pop-up, a ground-out, and a line-out so far on the day.
Man, it feels like the Golden Eagles have just been living with this 2-out situation with just barely a breath in their lung for a long time now, but they're finding ways to kind of fight through the fire and still score a couple runs, even with just that thin thread.
It's been an impressive showing of resilience here all day long for the Golden Eagles. Again, they didn't come away with the win against the Flyers, but you definitely can take that one as a big moral victory. I mean, they fought their guts out, and to just barely lose that as a situation here of oh wow, able to just kind of find his way into second base. Oh man. Bennett Averett just kind of not want to say lollygag, but
well, no, he definitely hustled over.
He hustled over,
was
but
really, I couldn't
was just
tell if
wait, what is?
I couldn't tell if the throw was made behind Bevan or exactly what
I thought
happened
Bevan
there.
would have been able to easily nail him on that play.
Oh,
and,
I thought it was. I thought
that
it was
thing
done
is
for
sent
there.
out into left field, and that is going to be the end of the inning. As wow, Averett was absolutely hustling down that third base line as Warren sends that one out and flies it out to left field.
Averett touched home just as the catch was made, it seemed like.
He did, yeah. Absolute big damage there done as the the Golden Eagles score 6 runs in the top of the 8th inning to make this a 12-6 ball game heading into the bottom half of the 8th inning. While we've got some time here, we'd like to thank our sponsors here at Spanish Fork 17. Coach T, take it away.
Well, I did not think I would get this special opportunity this many times, but I'm glad that I have it. We'd like to thank Lance Wilson State Farm, 2 Jacks Pizza, MVP Sports, and Triple T Heating, Cooling, Plumbing. They're all the great folks that make everything we do here over at Spanish Fork 17 possible.
Yeah, it has been a fun, full day here at St. George. Again, 19 innings of baseball for the Golden Eagles. Colby Warren getting warmed up here for a 3rd inning of work. And, yeah, it's just been a roller coaster of emotions and just all sorts of fun things going on here at Flyer Field when it comes to the Golden Eagles on the field today.
Yeah, you talked about kind of the moral victory with the Flyers, and one thing we'd be amiss not to mention is, we have mentioned it, we're playing here on Flyer Field, so obviously they're playing with the home field advantage, and there's always something to that. You know, you kind of win the mental battles. They definitely had a good fan section here. One thing I will say about these Maple Mountain Eagles as well as Spanish Fork yesterday, they travel really, really well.
They sure do.
I mean, obviously everyone wants to get out of the cold and down into the warm, but even more than that, everyone kind of just gives a good showing for these boys, and we've had a couple dominant programs coming out of that Utah County area, so big shout out to all the fans that are here in person. They might not be watching this at the moment, but may turn around and watch this after the fact. All of our recordings are saved on the Spanish Fork 17 YouTube page, so make sure you go and check that out. That's a good way to also maybe get a scouting report or say to your kid, hey, this is what we'd love you to do next time, or this is what we love that you did great. So there's a lot that you can get from there.
And so certainly not just the live stuff. As Marble puts a charge into this one, it goes all the way to the wall, and that's going to score the guy from second base. So it'll be starting things off here nice and loud for the Grizzlies, as that's going to be an RBI double for Taylon Marble.
That was a one hop to the wall, but man, there's been so many hits that have tempted that left field wall over there. But you know, this is definitely also a different field. We were playing at Snow Canyon last night, and you can imagine this, but with the outfield wall brought in about 15, maybe even 20 feet, and then that's the difference that we're playing with here today. So, and
then you factor in that crazy wind from last night too,
as
absolutely.
Well.
So that one is in dirt. Catterson will make the throw over the third. It'll be quite a bit late, but it was a beautiful strike over there, so I love seeing that.
Well, I love Maple Mountain. They mounted a good lead, but I love that Bear River's just not giving up on this one. It would have been really easy to turn around and say, hey, you know, they have this kind of lead. Let's just go out and give them a good showing. But they're coming out and saying, hey, let's put some heat on things. Let's put some pressure back on them, and we still got this.
Yeah, so Garrick Marble will get himself back into the batter's box here with the count 2-0, and with Taylon Marble sitting over there at third base. And yeah, I love this. I love the fact that they didn't roll over and that they're still going after this potential win. It will take 5 more runs here to tie this ball game up, and they'll need 6 to be able to come away with the victory immediately here in this 8th inning. But
well, at the pace they're at, they're well on their way.
Oh, and Marble sends one deep out into left center field, and that'll be collected by Averett, who'll get it in, and it'll be back-to-back RBI doubles here for the Marbles, as RBI double for Taylon, now an RBI double for Garrick Marble, and the score is now 8-12.
It looks like Coach Thomas is going to go ahead and ask for time and come out here and maybe have a little mound meeting, maybe see. He does have a pitcher over there warming up the bullpen even this late in the day, so he might go ahead and make a switch here.
Yeah, that definitely there is Colby Warren will be coming out of the ball game, and so the score is, again, we have 12 runs for Maple Mountain, and the 2 runs have come across here in this inning, an RBI double from Marble and an RBI double from Garrick Marble, and so it should be 8-12. The scoreboard out there, out at Flyers shows 8-12, and so I believe that is what we should be sitting at here. Now, we did go into the 7th inning with the game tied at 6. And then both teams scored.
And correction's been made. So Pete back there in the van, he's our producer back there, and he's done a super great job all weekend. But we talk about attrition to these players. There's definitely attrition that occurs for the crew here as well. Everyone on the cameras, everyone on the, the cast that kind of backs up everything that we're doing here at Spanish Fork 17. So
yeah, we do just want to make sure that everything's all
straight, all flush.
Yes. So that is number 32 coming into pitch now for the Golden Eagles. That is Caden Giles, who actually came in and pitched a little bit in the previous game here today. He was the last pitcher in the game against the Flyers as well.
Not quite able to get the conclusion that they wanted with that game, but he still gave a pretty strong showing. And they kind of similar to the situation where they just put was that Summers in just a second ago?
Yes.
Yeah, that they put Summers in. He came in at a really difficult part in the game, and there was a lot resting on his shoulders, and he was able to step up to the plate pretty well in that sense. So we'll see if he's able to give the same answer here and just close this one out.
A quick first strike there to Easton Goodliff. Marble over there at second base. A 4-run lead for the Golden Eagles, and that one will just barely miss. We'll move the count now to 1 ball and 1 strike.
Well, according to the fans, it didn't miss, but
again,
if we went according to the fans,
according to the fans, everything is whatever their team needs. That one gets a little piece of that one, so we'll move the count now to 1 ball and 2 strikes. No outs here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Again, it's been two RBI doubles to start things off here for Bear River, both off of the bats of Marbles, Talon and Garrick with RBI doubles. Goodliff will watch one go in the dirt. Catterson able to collect it, and Marble will not advance on the little squirt away from Catterson.
Oh, he tempted it, but just a good job by Catterson to just get eyes on the ball real quick and then get his head snapped up to locate the runner.
2-2 count here on Goodliff. He'll spray one down that third base line, but foul.
That was a hard foul.
Sure was. Had some nice
oomph to
exit velocity. I'll send one of the Maple Mountain coaches well down that left field line to snag that foul ball. The 2-2 is sent high in the sky out into center field. Marble will tag up and show that he's going to run, but an excellent throw from Averett actually ends up getting away from Bringhurst.
Huh. Interesting to see Giles back there to make the catch.
Yes, yeah, able to snag that there and prevent a potential really dangerous situation
yeah,
there.
It really could have been. For half a second, I thought it was just somebody leaning over the dugout wall trying
Honestly,
to make that catch.
Too. to an extent, I was like, that would be out of play then. So
and there's Giles.
But no, yeah, and that's good fundamental baseball there by Giles to back that play up. That one is pumped in there for a strike to Colton Summers. So 1 out here in the bottom of the 8th inning. 0-1 count on Summers, who's had a nice day at the plate, 3 for 4. He'll swing through that one, strike 2. Giles showing some nice velocity there with the high heat.
He is, and that's what he does best. He just pumps them in there, kind of like Warren. And
yep.
Warren was just kind of having a difficult time finding that strike zone.
The 0-2 is blasted out into right field. Johnston makes a nice play out there for out number 2. This time Marble will make his way on over to third. Obviously the throw out there to right to third base is just a little long.
Well, this is all reminiscent of what happened in the top of this inning. It's almost scary how reminiscent it is, but they got to 2 outs and all of a sudden a blast of the doors wide open. So See if the Bears are able to make a similar run here, and then you got to wonder, do they call it if they tie it up, or are they even able to open it up and take the lead, or does Maple Mountain put it away right here? The story continues.
Rigby takes a nice cut at that pitch, but will miss for strike one. Rigby 1 for 3 on the day with the single in the 5th. He does also have a sac fly to his name in the 7th inning. That one in there on the low outside part of the plate for strike 2. And they're gonna call a balk. Wow, for once it actually was a balk.
Well, he didn't say it that time because he's sitting over in the Maple Mountain fan section. He only calls it against the opposing team, so we're not going to hear anything from that's the balk guy. It's funny that the one time where it's actually a balk.
The one time it actually happens, he doesn't chirp in and chime in on it. So, what it is. So the strike goes away, so the count stays 0-1, and the run comes in, so it is now a 9-12 ball game.
With another 2 strikes here, it'll make a little difference.
That one in there for strike 2. And that is the second balk by Maple Mountain pitchers. There was another one in the 4th inning as well.
By Max Walker.
Yep. That one in the dirt. So the count will move to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Bear River down to their last strike here in this 8-inning ball game against the Golden Eagles. The pitch swung on, and there. Wait for it. As that one was.
Yeah, he definitely got a piece of that.
He got a piece of that one, and it looked like Catterson was so close to being able to snag that one, and that would have been the ball game. But
maybe that's just Darryl Rogers saying, "Hey, I'm tired. This has gone on forever. Let's get into the next game here."
Can we just? Yeah, I feel that.
I'm glad that they made the right call, and he was backed up by, I guess they figured that out with umpire Anderson over there down the first base line.
1-2 in the dirt, so it'll even up the count here now at 2-2 for Rigby. Another pitch up coming here from Giles. And this thing is crushed out into left field, high in the sky, all the way back to the warning track.
High enough.
But not quite far enough as the catch is made out there in left field. And that will be the end of this ball game, a 12-9 win for the Golden Eagles over the Grizzlies. We will get you a recap of this one when we come back on Spanish Fork 17.
If you're looking for a workout, you know MVP Sports is the place to start, and that includes pickleball. MVP Sports has all you need to get active in this growing sport. Paddles, shoes, clothing, and the pickleballs. MVP Sports in Spanish Fork.
The best time to check your furnace is before it fails, and you can rely on Triple T to do the job right. Our technicians are trained every year so you can sleep better at night, knowing your furnace is safe to operate. Call Triple T at 798-7711 to schedule your tune-up today.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
Contact State Farm agent Lance Wilson today.
Hi, welcome to 2 Jack's Pizza.
For the best pizza you'll ever taste and our world-famous cheese sticks, come to 2 Jack's Pizza on Main Street in Spanish Fork or call us for a quick delivery. Are you hungry yet?
Welcome back to Spanish Fork 17, another marathon game for the Golden Eagles. This one in their favor, though, as they take the win here against Bear River. The score 12-9, able to put up 6 runs in that final inning. Just a weird, fun, kind of crazy game here to wrap up their Dixie Sunshine Classic experience down here in St. George, Utah. And wow, Coach T, we just witnessed quite a ball game here on Spanish Fork 17.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. The second time today that they've gone a really long time, and we talked about attrition and how that kind of plays into things, and I think it was just really great play by them. Obviously, they lost the war of attrition earlier, and here they come out on top. And, this is such a game of momentum. When they got going, they really got going and kind of blew things wide open there in the top of the 8th. So I think just a really good job to the coaches. A big shout out to the coaches for just the constant encouragement and just telling their boys, hey, I know it's late in the day, but we got this. And I mean, there was a lot of players out there. I think I'm going to go ahead and highlight two players here that had an absolute awesome game. There was Thomas, and these are kind of runner-ups to our MVP Sports MVP of the game, but Thomas and Averett really had excellent games out there. I'll talk about Thomas just because of his base running. He was always finding ways to get around the extra corner, and he brought in a couple of runs. And then Averett, you know, it's really hard to get anything past him. And we talked about that awesome play that he made in the first, the absolutely great throw that he made all the way from center field to home plate to get the tag to wrap up the first inning. So excellent play by both of them. But I believe you do have the MVP of the game for us.
Yes, our MVP Sports MVP of the game will go to Max Walker, who had the game. What ended up being essentially the game-winning hit in that 8th inning was that bases-clearing single that had a little bit of help from some bounces and some throwing error and things like that. But that ended up being kind of the game-defining hit of the game for the Golden Eagles. Also, I mean, had a decent day at the plate as well. Had a single in the 4th and took a walk in the 6th inning. So had a nice day at the plate, and also was the starting pitcher in this game, so was able to kind of contribute on both sides of things. So had the game-winning hit, had a pretty decent start to the game, ended up giving them 5 pretty good innings of ball on the mound as well, and so just kind of a big overall performance there for Max Walker, and then also getting that game-defining hit there in that 8th inning. So Max Walker is our MVP Sports MVP of the game. Thank you for tuning in this weekend. It's been a blast down here in St. George, Utah, able to cover Spanish Fork, able to cover Maple Mountain, and that's going to wrap things up here for this weekend down here in St. George. For our crew here at Spanish Fork 17, I'm Angel LaRose. He's Coach T. Thank you so much for joining us for these 2 extra inning, super fun games for the Golden Eagles. This one coming away with the victory against Bear River 12-9. Thank you for joining us, and we'll catch you next time on Spanish Fork 17.
Cut it.